dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston. Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane. Here are Peter and Anthony with Sports 56 Mornings.
It's a cruise ship.
Welcome in, everybody, on a freezing cold Thursday morning. It is Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and Desandre Williams.
Yep. Fresh off the NCAA waiver.
You got the waiver. The waiver came through.
Wavy over here. Wave God over here.
Congratulations on that. And, of course, Zacchaeus Boyd.
Zacchaeus.
Producing. Zacchaeus, the tax collector, producing today's program.
Zacchaeus, the tax collector.
He was, man. But I don't want that smoke, man.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Zach, who was your
I know
favorite
my
disciple,
Bible.
man?
Job.
Come on.
Obviously, my name.
Job.
No comment.
Disciple?
No, disciple.
No,
I'm sorry.
we gonna
My
push-
bad.
we gonna
My
push
bad.
We gonna push through it.
My bad.
What kind
I
of
thought.
what kind of deacon is this?
My bad. I was
Job?
No, because
Destroy the evidence. Destroy the evidence.
in my mind, I was thinking person in the Bible, but I really don't have a favorite disciple. I mean, Peter. Peter's everybody's
go.
favorite. So
Right on, as he should be. The Rock. The first Rock.
because he was headstrong, but then he lied, and then he came back.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
True.
I mean,
that's true.
I mean, he played his role, man.
Okay. He was a role player. That's right.
I still can't get past you saying Job was your favorite
Because
disciple.
I was thinking
because
because here's the thing nobody asks me what my favorite disciple
out
is.
of the three of us, one of us goes to church every Sunday. It ain't me.
But the thing is nobody
Peter.
asks
It ain't
me on the regular and say, "Hey Zach, what's your favorite disciple?"
But it's also a question.
Yeah,
that
but
you
if
can
they
give
do,
easy answers to.
Yeah.
If someone
If they
asks me
do,
about,
you don't
hey,
say
who's your
Job.
favorite Grizzly player? Oh, easily Devin Booker. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, what are you talking about, Zach?
No, that was like saying John Elway. Who's your favorite Grizzly player?
who's your favorite Grizzly player?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Sharif
Bill
Abdul-Rahim.
Bill Clinton.
Right.
What are you
Brian
talking
Reeves.
about?
Like, what? That's Old Testament.
Not even the same
What are
sport.
you
What are you talking about? What is he talking about? Oh, man. Yeah, my favorite Grizzly was Steve Irwin. What?
Joy just texted in a very valid point. She said that there ain't no coming back from that. That man said Job, and of course my name. When Zacchaeus wasn't a disciple either. So,
Well, he's a
just be quiet, man. It wasn't neither one of them.
It
disciples.
was neither one of them, but I read.
Matthias, you're thinking of Matthias. Who's the
I
13th
registered
disciple.
that late. It was late.
Nah, Zach, it's over, man.
It was late because I was thinking person because I don't have really a favorite disciple. But
Well,
yeah, I
listen,
didn't.
we're
I
gonna
shouldn't.
just,
I didn't answer the question.
Saying who's your favorite Grizzly? James Naismith.
It's
So go back to
Tom
the
Cruise
old
is my favorite Grizzly.
cruise ship. Call it a cruise ship.
Well, welcome in everybody to the possibly the most biblically aligned and yet least biblically aware show on in recent memory.
Right.
From the Family Leisure Studios. Welcome in, everybody, as we continue with the Sports 56 mornings on a very frigid Thursday. Again, same as before. You're going to see it's going to look like it should be snowing, frankly. I mean, it's kind of overcast. It's very cold. Mm-hmm. It really looks like it should be snowing out there, and yet it's not snowing. It's snowing in other parts of the country quite a lot. It's not snowing here, unfortunately, but it is very, very cold. Nonetheless, 26 degrees outside right now. It'll get a little warmer today. It'll warm up into the mid 40s, but right now it is quite cold as you make your way to work or school or whatever it is that you're doing. Today on the show, we are going to talk a lot of college hoops with our friend John Gassaway coming up at 8 o'clock. He's up in the middle of all of that. The nor'easter that's currently cracking up against the Northeast. That's why they call it the nor'easter. A lot of people don't know that, but it's because it's usually in the Northeast.
Y'all know what it is. When is that coming?
Do what?
When is that supposed to happen?
It's happening. We're in the middle of it. We're up in it.
What happens on the 21st? The mood is about to change.
Okay. Job that's my answer to all of this. It's just Job. Job. So in any event, John Gassaway will talk to him at 8 o'clock about college hoops, including last night's Tiger victory. 9 o'clock, Dustin Starr. 5-Star joins us to talk about the squared circle and about the world of professional wrestling and who's up, who's down, who's winning, who's losing, all of those sorts of things. And in between, we'll talk a whole lot of college football as Mike Oresco went NWO, and I like it. I appreciate it. Let's just call this thing out. Let's get after the system for what it is. We'll talk about Mike Oresco's inflammatory comments that I think are entirely justified. We'll talk about the world of college football getting kind of attacked, so to speak, a little bit from a couple different fronts. One of them judicial, one of them legislative. We'll talk about that coming up as well. Also, a look at signing day as a whole. We'll talk about how things looked for everybody out there in the world. Not everybody in the world, but a lot of teams. Let's put it that way. We'll talk about that. Some news from the NBA. Of course, the Grizzlies will be in action tonight. First preseason home game of the year. First home game in FedEx Forum of any sort since the pandemic for the Grizzlies, and they'll be operating under their new policy of a restricted fan, although it still will be less restricted than any other place in the country, it would appear. But it's still restricted access for media and fans and all of that stuff. So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about, of course, what's going to happen on the court as the Grizzlies and the Hawks will play tonight. So busy show. If you want to join us, you can. 67129 on the First Bank text line. That is 67129. You just send your text to 67129. And a reminder, if you've not joined the text team, you do need to do that first, but that's simple enough. Mm-hmm. You simply text 56JOIN to 67129. Do it one time.
One time.
That's right. If you have the patience of Job, you can do it
didn't
just
say
one
twice.
time.
Surprised he didn't say it 2 times.
One time.
And you'll be able to get right in. Once you do it, just that once, your phone is locked in. You don't have to do it again. Save us as a contact and text us, as so many do, anytime you want. 67129 is that number. You can also call us as well. The First Bank phone lines are open for you. 360-8255, 901-360-8255. That's how you get in touch with us on the phones. You can talk to Zach and do Bible trivia with him as well if you want to do that.
So I
think you'll have some fun with that, unless you are a Bible scholar, in which case you'll be very mad.
Like the brain is slow. It's still processing, still trying to get going. It's cold. It's so cold outside that it's not. It's not. The wheel hasn't started turning just yet. It's turning a little bit, but it's not there all the way.
Zach reminded me of a God-related story. If I can get 2 minutes of your first segment time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I'm at Target. Me and Gabe were leaving Target, right? So I when I first pulled on the lot, I heard somebody laying on their horn really loud, but I heard it, but I didn't see it, so we just went in the store. So I come back out again. I hear the same somebody laying down on their horn. Plus I hear tires screeching, and I'm like, what? And I see a car like driving frantically through the parking lot. So I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I grab Gabe and hold him behind me, and I see this car. A guy pulls up, like not particularly in front of me, but in front of me. And he lets his window down. So I'm like, okay, if I'm about to die, I guess this is it. Guy lets down his window, and he says, he has a cardboard sign that says, God is the bank, D-A bank. He's like, I'm telling you, man, it's about more than you, man. It got to be bigger than yourself. I was like, you effing idiot. Just like, and then he drives around a lot again. He pulls him on another family, does the same thing. I'm like, bro, maybe your message makes some type of sense, but your method is trash. And just like Zach is a horrible representative of Christ Jesus this morning, so was this guy who was doing this on a crazy packed Target parking lot on a Saturday. This is what this guy decided to do in the name of something.
Listen, man, I may not answer a question correctly,
but you would never do that.
But you will never catch me with a sign talking about God is the bank.
You're not one of these renegade.
No,
okay.
no, like I'm not gonna harass you.
Like, bro, what is this? Like, it looked like a drive-by or like something crazy was going on the parking lot, and this guy like pulls out a sign saying God is the bank and starts like preaching. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
no.
no.
If I had a gun, I would have pulled out and shot this dude. Like for real.
Yeah, no. No,
anyway, go ahead.
You're not catching me.
You're
not catching me doing that, man.
No. Well, last night the Grizzlies got a win in the bank. It was not the Tigers. I would say it was okay. Maybe like a what would you say like a C. Like a C performance, like somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah.
No, it's an unacceptable performance last night.
I don't know. I mean, there were some things there was some good stuff to take from it. I can't say it's completely unacceptable. Big game from DJ Jeffries, big game from Lester Quinones. I would say that's okay.
No. Did you watch the game?
Yes, I watched the game.
I watched it from bell to bell, and I was like, this is excruciating to watch Memphis struggle with freaking Tulane. Come on, man. And RJ Hunter's dad, whose head looks like I can't think what that cartoon is, man. I can't think. Is it Proud Family, Zach? Who is it?
Oscar Proud.
Somebody with a little bitty little fade.
Yeah, Oscar Proud.
Yeah.
Then they showed
his
this dude.
Is something else.
You would have thought he was
he got a lot of camera time.
Yeah, you would have thought he was Penny Hardaway, man. Like you would have thought he was a former like NBA like.
The broadcast of the game was like the most low rent, low budget thing I've ever seen from a so-called ESPN2 game in the history. I mean, like they had one camera that was okay. Any camera shot that wasn't the hard camera that was just on the court looked like somebody had a camcorder in a shower and they were filming.
Yeah,
like it was blurry and the colors were off, and
it was like a little green to it. Like
it was all grainy, and it looked like surveillance footage or something. I don't know what's going on. Somebody had their Ring camera that they set up, like a doorbell camera, like set up on the walls to do like side shots. Like, what are we doing here? It's just a low budget. I mean, low rent. Like they spent $15 on that broadcast. And the announcers were just terrible. And
yeah, and one dude just destroyed Lester Quinones' name too. He was like,
oh, terrible.
Quainonesses or something. Quainonesses.
Oh. Like, the analyst just kept saying like, "Yo, just got to play 40 minutes, guys. I mean, just got to. I mean, I just sounded. That's the only comment for him. The play-by-play guy kept like, "What does Memphis need to do? I got to play 40 minutes. Just gotta play, what does Tulane need to do? I got to play 40 minutes. What do you do? Yeah, there's other things you can do besides playing 40 minutes.
Yeah."
The worst one. Just hold on. One other thing. I don't even know how to describe this one, but this drives me crazy. So, like, I've seen this a lot lately, and it's well intentioned, I think, probably, but it's just not. I don't know, man. We gotta do. It's very awkward. They had the comment about the one kid, Noble something. I forget his name from Tulane, but his dad was a police officer. He's talking about how he participated in the unity marches at Tulane, and they talked about police brutality and what the players were marching for and what the people in Tulane were marching for. They showed the patch that University of Memphis is going to wear, the patch Tulane's going to wear. And then they come back to the announcers trying to transition back to the game, and it's so awkward for them to try to get back to the game and try to also – it's like – and, of course, there's Noble Hayes talking about the unnecessary killing of black people. And, that's not great. Is it, Jim? No, it is not. Okay. All right. Well, speaking of not great, here's that shot. What are we doing out here? Don't turn this into a fun little segment on the broadcast. And of course, brutality is awful, and we should avoid it. Like they avoided that contact on that foul, isn't that right? What do you think what should America do in the second half here to get back at it after this brutality situation? Well, we got to play 40 minutes, guys. America's got to play full 40 to get through all this.
40 acres in a mule. That's what it is.
Oh no.
40 minutes on that mule.
40 minutes on a mule. Yeah, man.
It happens in so many of these games where they go to a segment of this, and these guys are just it's not in their playbook to talk about something that serious and impactful. I mean, we just don't even try. The attempt is
right.
He said something. There was one comment. I wish I'd written it down. I wish I could go back and remember what it was. It was something about yeah. It was police. Certainly, police brutality needs to come to an end. But, and he said something what?
No, ain't but nothing.
Okay, all right.
Oh man.
So anyway, it was a very, very poor broadcast last night. Broadcast that was fitting for the quality of the game itself.
And Texas says they sure hope that Ron Hunter, the Tulane coach, doesn't have the Rona because he infected everyone in the arena. He was mask off, doing the most.
Oh, man.
Bro.
Man, oh, man.
doing the most.
Histrionics. I mean, you remember, he fell off. He famously fell off the stool.
He's a very, very dramatic dude.
He is. He's all action.
Oh God.
Who was it that said? Who was the text that says he looked? Was it Uzak that said he looked like somebody's uncle that always talks too close?
He does have that look.
He's kind of like, hey man, what's up? Hey, yeah, hey. Okay, back off.
What's up?
I got you,
nephew.
Okay,
Hey, all right.
Give me some space, man.
Come on, nephew. Come on, nephew.
You better not bring a nice looking girl with you because he's just gonna be a straight perv. I see you, boy. I see you.
This you, nephew? This you?
I see you.
Nephew, this you? This is all you?
Like Coach Hunter, please don't embarrass my girlfriend. I'm sorry. I apologize, but please don't embarrass her. Yeah, man.
So the game itself.
It also looks like he wears those sandal shoes. You know, what are those called? With no socks. What are they called?
What, the Crocs?
No,
the Crocs?
Zach knows them.
The Moses Fords?
No, those like player shoes. Like it's like a dress shoe and a sandal.
The slides?
Oh, the sandal.
What's it called?
Slides.
No, it's a full shoe, but it's got like slits in it. It looks like a dress shoe, but it's got slits in it, like old players wear them all the time. I'll send it to you over the break.
Okay.
I can't think what they're called. Yeah, just.
Oh, come on, nephew.
It was not a I don't know, man. I mean, Memphis got off to a great start, and it looked like, okay, all right, maybe this DeAndre Williams thing, because, of course, DeAndre Williams did, in fact, get his approval, as did everyone else. The blanket waiver from the NCAA kind of passed, and so pretty much anyone who was outstanding now can play. And he looked. You could see some of the promise. Can't make a free throw to save his life, but you could see some of the promise. You could see some of the things that people like in him. He certainly got energy. He certainly seemed to be enthusiastic. He just kind of he was kind of like a puppy out there that was just excited about getting out, and then kind of kept making mistakes and getting too into stuff. But you could see the talent, and he will quickly be an invaluable part of this team. But last night it was about DJ Jeffries and Lester Quinones for the most part, who DJ Jeffries, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, filled up the stat sheet, played, I thought, his best game. Apart from the turnovers, there were some really bad turnovers in
I
the
told
mix,
y'all
but
yesterday it
otherwise,
was going to be the DJ Jeffers game, man. Didn't I say that before we?
I think it was a Lester Quinones game, honestly. Lester, man, actually hit some threes.
Yep. Well, both of the guys that I counted out yesterday, they, guess they were listening.
They were. I think they were listed. 20.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 8 of 13 for Lester Quinones, including 4 of 7 from behind the 3-point line. And that's vital for the Tigers. They've got to have somebody make these threes, and there you go. The offense was still brutal. Even though they scored 80 points, a lot of that came from the foul line, to be honest with you. There's a million fouls in this game. It was Tulane's awful, man. They're just horrible.
Yeah, they've been like the bottom of whether it's Conference USA or the American Athletic Conference. They've been at the bottom of it for all of my life, as far as I can recall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Regardless of who the coach is. Yeah.
With 5 minutes left in the game, they had 4 assists as a team.
What? How? That one dude, what was his
name?
Now
think about that. Think about that for a second. They played 35 minutes of basketball and had 4 assists. That tells you what that looked like. And it looked exactly like that. We had the one guy, Forbes, who just was taking it like one-on-one, just constantly going one-on-one with everybody. Mm-hmm. The other kid, Jordan Walker, their transfer guys were the ones that were just trying to do stuff. And everybody else, it was Forbes, Walker, and Watson.
Yeah.
But those guys, no one else could do anything on the court.
Watson was the little bitty guard that was just shooting from everywhere, right?
Yeah, Watson was just out there doing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was just they finished with 9 assists. They had a flurry at the end, but 35 minutes of the game went by and they had 4 assists as a team.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Brutal. Yeah.
And yeah,
they lost to this team. You might want to. I don't know. I might have.
It was just too close for me, man. Like that. Once you got up on them, any other team would have came back and beat them, man. Like that's what bothered me about that game the most. Cause I was like, okay, like where is Memphis in the conference? Like just looking at, cause I saw Cincinnati play the game before. They lost, but they looked pretty good. I think they lost to UCF, right? So I'm like, okay, so where is Memphis in the conference? If you're screwing around with Tulane like this, like how good actually is Memphis? And I get the DeAndre Williams stuff. He comes in, he brings energy, but that dude's not the reason why they're bad. Like the absence of him isn't why they've disappointed this year. I mean, I get it. I see what he brings to the court. He had the 2 dunks last night that were exciting or whatever, but teams it's just hard to even put your finger on it, man. Like what's the main issue is with this team. I say basketball IQ every time we talk about it, but I mean that's pretty much college basketball as a whole, outside of certain players. But yeah, I'm glad they pulled it out. Glad they pulled away at the end, but it just wasn't I didn't get much fulfillment from watching them beat Tulane in the manner that they did last night. And it's Huarache sandals is what I was talking about, Zach. Old player Deacon sandals. They look like dress shoes and sandals at the same time. Zach is watching YouTube. No, he's getting his music ready for No, he's getting his music ready. I got you. My bad. I thought you were just in there screwing around.
No.
I got you, man. But yeah, Huarache sandals is what I was
saying. The Huaraches. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Player sandals. I'm sure several of your co-deacons wear those on their
Well, maybe. I can't confirm that.
Yeah, do y'all have like a church picnic or whatever?
We don't have. Well, we have it's like a sort of like a Sabbath school, Sunday school picnic. So it's like the second week of September.
Oh, okay.
So everybody get together, have fun.
Yeah, when you go next time, pay attention to the feet. You're gonna see some of that.
See, and that's the problem. I don't look at people's feet, man.
Yeah. Texas says you watched the Cincinnati game, but you don't know who they played. I thought I said UCF.
Yeah, it's South Florida.
Oh, well,
it's one of the
trash green teams.
Yeah.
One of those teams. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're talking about the American. I don't.
Which team was the trash team?
Who?
Are they both trash teams? Or are they?
Yeah, UCF and in basketball.
USF, you mean?
Yeah, whoever. Either one. They're in basketball, both of them are garbage. So what are we talking about?
I mean,
I halfway watched Tiger games, man. What you want me to say? Yeah, what do you want me to say?
I don't know. I don't know what people expected. I didn't expect. I didn't expect any of that stuff. So, apart from Houston,
I expected Memphis to be better, considerably better than Tulane, and I didn't see that last night.
Houston is the best team in the conference for sure, and everybody else is just kind of what they are basically. So,
is Memphis a tournament team?
Now, no. I mean, they haven't. But again, I don't know what a tournament team is now in this the way things are right now. I don't know what a tournament team is because Memphis is only going to play Houston. That's it. Like in terms of quality opponents, that's it. Everybody else is going to be. They don't have anybody else on the sheet. They got no one else to even play. So I don't know what the committee's going to look for because they're not going to have any kind of quality on the schedule. You look at the rest of the schedule and it's just kind of whatever. You're talking about nobody apart from Houston. SMU has a chance to jump in there and be pretty decent. Maybe that helps. Cincinnati, I guess, could be, but it certainly didn't go off to a good start. So I don't know. I don't know where the quality wins are going to come from. They don't have any quality. St. Mary's is the most quality win they got.
Well, Peter, I grew up a Tiger basketball fan, and the Pastner era combined with the Tubby Smith era kind of did something to me. And I climb out of my hole every year to, see is it safe to come back out? Yeah, and I'm back. I'm back in my hole, man. I'm out.
I think you might want to go back to the hole for a little bit.
Like just to see. I ride with Penny, but like it's excruciating basketball. And I went to I watched it at a friend of mine's house last night, and I was like, bro, I can't take this. And I was like, I'm about to watch NBA players that actually have college team chemistry, and this team has horrible chemistry. Like you can see it all over the court. Like they don't play with each other. Like they're not a unit. And I'm about to go watch a pro team tonight that actually plays like a good college team is supposed to play. So. But anyway.
We'll talk more about it when we return. Your thoughts on the Tiger team. What did you see last night? 67129 on the First Bank text line, 67129 360-8255. Your thoughts. So when we return, Sports 56 Mornings.
You have opinions?
I think they got a lot of athletic ability.
We want to hear them.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Call us on the First Bank phone line at 360-8255 or text us on the First Bank text line at 67129.
When you're watching the Tigers play or whatever team you support, you always look for the end result, the winning score. And when you're thinking of selling your home, the ultimate goal line is the closing table. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. Getting your home sold for what you want and when you want it makes everyone happy. You should talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers when you're thinking of selling your home, and make sure I'm one of them, especially if you want results. Most people have heard that when you want the job done, you need to call Shell Done. Call or email me today and find out about my highly successful strategic marketing program with the Shell Bucks option. You can reach me at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. That's Shell Done Rosengarten. Call today at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. And go Tigers!
Farmers Insurance knows that when you're in the car and that song comes on, yes, that's the one, you have no choice but to pull out your imaginary drumsticks and smash those cymbals and stomp on that kick pedal, which unfortunately is the accelerator pedal. And we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent who knows a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Even in times like these, special occasions happen. And when an occasion calls for special, it calls for 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination. From the spectacular 36-ounce porterhouse paired with a Ferrari Carano Cabernet to the jumbo lump crab cakes to the raw bar with oysters fresh off the boat from the Gulf and the East Coast, there is simply no finer dining experience in Memphis than 117 Prime in the heart of downtown. These are complicated times, but if you want simply the best, you want 117 Prime.
Good news. Southland Casino is now back open. That's right. The most spacious casino floor in the Mid-South is ready to welcome you back to the action with live blackjack, roulette, craps, and all your favorite slots. The action kicks off every day at 9 a.m. and rolls all the way till 5 o'clock the next morning. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and make the short drive to Southland. We're ready for you. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, I started the first micro distillery in the state of Texas with my dog, Dog Joe, at my side. We're still working with dogs out at the distillery after all these years. Learn more about how dogs are a part of life here at Tito's Handmade Vodka at vodkafordogpeople.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Rocking around the Kia rides, have a happy holiday. That's right, Mid-South. Gossett Kia on the Pike is rocking away at the Kia Holiday Sales Event. Command the season. And gift wrapping is available on your 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. So get them what they really want this season, a new ride from Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike. Or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. If you want it, we Gossett and Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 29910, MSRP $20,625, Soul M7755,682, MSRP $20,315, K5 MG 003,199, MSRP $25,725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit, warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join us every Saturday morning on Sports 56 WHBQ from 8 to 10 a.m. and 96.1 FM and the new FM 98.5. We'll be covering the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, college football, college basketball, college baseball. We'll look into recruiting. We'll have guests from around the country with the latest news, the most knowledgeable people out there, the coaches, the players, the people who play the games. Don't forget to join us on the sidelines. Sports 56, 96.1, and the new FM 98.5.
Sports 56 traffic.
We got a crash on Old Getwell Road at Lamar Avenue. And also, if you're heading on Getwell Road northbound, north of American Way, that's Getwell north of American Way, part of the road has been blocked off because there's ice on the road. So just keep that in mind if you're in that area or heading in that direction. There's ice on the road, not only on Getwell, but also in ice on certain parts in the city as well. So keep in mind, slow it down, take it easy. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Our number one continues. Texas says, guys, why are you so brutal? Duke and Kentucky lost the worst teams.
And we've been on them too. Memphis joins Kentucky and Duke as far as disappointing teams. I mean, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I mean if we were in Lexington, I can assure you we'd be talking a lot more about Kentucky's bad start to the season.
They're all
I get
in the
sense
same
you probably
boat
don't want to hear.
Yeah. Disappointing teams. I mean, all three of them are. So we've talked about Duke and Kentucky too.
But, I mean, what do you mean Duke lost to who did Duke?
No, you know when Duke lost to who was it that beat them, and then we clown Coach K for trying to say, well, just shut the season down.
Well, they lost to Michigan State and they lost to Illinois. Like those are good teams.
No, I'm saying like we've clowned both of those teams too, though. I mean, it's not like we just on here.
Well, yeah, we have, but I'm just saying, like, don't even compare. Like,
because
somehow lost to
his
Tulane.
point, he said they lost
to
worst teams. Yeah, they didn't lose to. They didn't lose to anybody. They didn't lose to Auburn. So. It's not.
I mean, Kentucky's been bad, and they've had a kind of a history lately of starting the season a little bit rough and turning things around. But this year it looks real rough.
Oh yeah, it looked bad.
It was bad. But anyway, we're not in Lexington, so I didn't feel the need to.
They'd beat us.
I think they would. I mean, I don't know. Again, I think the whole point is that there's so much potential there, and it's just not not happening. There's
this
no
team should be better than this. This team should flat out be better than this. I'm not gonna say they should be much better, but they shouldn't look like how they look. That's just not it.
They went through about I'd say out of the 40 minutes, they played about 10 minutes of like really pretty good offense, and about 30 minutes of just kind of doing stuff. I mean, defensively they're sound, they're solid, no problem there, other than some foul trouble occasionally. But their defensive schemes are good. Offensively, boy, again I keep coming back to it, Anthony, but it drives me crazy. Like, they need a pecking order. They need a guy. They need somebody to be the man. Whether if that's DJ Jeffries, that's fine. But like, somebody's got to take the bulk of the shot. Somebody's got to be like kind of the go-to dude. Right now, it's just too much equal opportunity offense, and it ends up in the hands of somebody who takes a shot that's just brutal, right? So
yeah.
I think they got to find a way to get more intent in their offense. It doesn't seem like there's much intent. I mean, Tulane whips out the kind of a basic 2-3 zone, and they sort of move the ball around, and sometimes they try to get to the middle, sometimes they don't, and they end up with some of these bad shots. Now, toward the end of the game, they started to kind of figure it out, but Tulane was pretty tired at that point as well. I don't know. There's talent there. There's talent there, but they just got to make it work.
We're playing too many dudes.
Yeah.
Way too many. The rotation is just too deep. And yeah, you could come out and throw guys out in waves and all these. I mean, whatever. But that works in theory. But what it also does is when guys actually get in the game, they're trying to get their whole stat line in a 5-minute stretch, and we see that often. And guys, they're not able to get a rhythm, and they're just too many guys, man. It's like Penny, like, play 8, 9, maybe 10 dudes, but like he's literally playing like, I don't know. It's just the rotations are weird, and it's just too many guys. It seems like at the wrong time. I mean, everybody can't have the basketball IQ of Jaden Hardaway. I mean, I get it, but
hey, Jaden Hardaway he hit 4 free throws at the end of the game that sealed.
Yeah,
looked good.
The deal.
Those
joke.
Four didn't touch rim. I mean, 4 swishes. And I don't take that for granted with this Memphis team.
No joking, bro. Like 100%. Like, as far as knowing their role on the court and having like common basketball IQ, like sense, Jaden Hardaway is up there. Like, he might be number one as far as like knowing his role, knowing where he needs to be, just watching him on the court and like watching what other guys do. And that comes from having a dad that's one of the greatest that's ever done it. I mean, that, it comes
certainly
with
helps.
It comes with the package.
Certainly helps. There's no question about that. So that was last night. Just kind of
yeah.
So it was what it was. They won. They did their thing. We mentioned around the rest of the country. I mean, you saw some. There's been some difficult times. Now, Duke did win last night at Notre Dame, so that does help a little bit in terms of improving their start to the season. And so I mean, I don't know. It's weird. We'll talk to John Gasway about it because around the country, because ultimately it's a very challenging season for everybody, just like football was and continues to be. It's really, really tough for men and women to go out there and play basketball with, teams shutting down, virus situation. There's all kinds of weird stuff happening this year. No fans, it's just weird. So I think everyone kind of gets a little bit of a grace period this year. But it would be nice, if you saw some forward progress from Memphis continue, and we'll see if it does. It might. It still might. I'm not saying it won't. But it's got to. They play Tulsa coming up on Monday, and then South Florida, Temple, UCF. Like, if you just go up and down the schedule again, there's no. It's all conference from here on out. So there's really no opportunity for enhancement other than Houston. When you play Houston twice, there's no opportunity for really big wins or anything that's going to really shake things up from a committee point of view. So you really need to go like 18-2, 17-3. You have to put up some big time number.
Yep.
in the conference to feel good about where you are from a tournament standpoint. I don't see them doing that right now, but they could. I mean, there's not a lot of quality in this conference. So,
and I mean, just calling it pretty much how I see it. You know that they're going to trip up in some games they're not supposed to lose. So, I mean, they play it like you talked about 40 minutes. They went 40 minutes with Tulane, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, oh man, it's just so frustrating. I want to care, bro. Like I watch. But I don't care, and that hurts. Like, that's not a good feeling at all.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. We'll talk when we return. We'll talk about the other side of the coin, though. On the football side, while recruiting and National Signing Day was happening, a couple of different cases and some interesting stuff happening on the competition front that could change the entire thing. We'll see. Lots of fascinating stuff happening on the football scene. We'll talk about it when we return. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Get happy with Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 3 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from Titleist, featuring the new Titleist TSI drivers with aerospace titanium face construction that's never been used before in golf. TSI is faster in air and faster at impact, and a special holiday promotion on Pro V1, Pro V1X, and AVX balls, now only $39.99 a dozen. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
How's the Christmas shopping going? Frontier Western Store in Olive Branch is here to make it a lot easier. Everyone loves something from Frontier. Ladies' boutique style clothing, Carhartt for the guys, and boots for everyone. For Frontier's boutique department, you'll find the latest trends at incredible prices. We also carry a huge inventory of basics like leggings, tops, tunics, dresses, CC beanies, scarves, gloves, new styles of fleece jackets, and much, much more. Guys will be after Frontier's large assortment of Carhartt and Ariat jeans and shirts. Now, how about a new coat, jacket, or insulated overalls? Frontier has that too. Don't forget the boots. Work boots and dress boots from Rocky, Dan Post, Ariat, and more. Frontier is the place to come for name brand boots at an everyday low price. There are thousands of boots available in all sizes for men, women, and children. Frontier gift cards are also available and make a perfect last-minute gift. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
It's on Mid-South employee pricing for all during the Big Finish 2020. So get ready to save big with 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive. IIHS Top Safety Pick $22,990 or $296 a month. Or power up with 2020 Dodge Charger $24,890 or $299 a month. And we're talking Ram Tough in a 2020 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x2 $31,999 or $399 a month. It's time to get your ride on at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat, 1901 Covington Pike, or online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost finance through Chrysler Jeep Ram 3,500 cash down, Charger 4,500 cash down, 4.11 APR, Cherokee MD 15674, MSRP 28,050, Charger XST LH 248,348, MSRP 32,860, Ram LG 290,329, MSRP 37,855, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking, no telephone pole to get in your way, a cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
The total package. Lex Luger.
Total Package is a good nickname.
Yeah, I used to like that nickname. I'm looking at as you know the text box here at Sports 56 is not show exclusive. Like we don't have exclusive rights to that. It goes to everyone.
That's right.
And
That's
sometimes listeners like send stuff early to other shows, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we read it, we see it. We don't particularly know what's going on, but we see it. And I'm looking at I think this lady's name is Carolyn. She's sending her song list for something that Eli and Greg are doing.
Yeah, 5 favorite songs.
Yeah, man, it's a very diverse. I'm trying to figure out who is Carolyn, man. She's got some Kid Cudi in there. She got some Lil Wayne.
What?
Yeah, she's got a couple Lil Wayne songs. She got some Cudi, Eric Clapton, Junior Walker and the All Stars, The Killers and Ryan Party. You know what, man? Like Carolyn, she deserves a playlist on our show, man. I mean, look how she broke everything down, man. She got the song.
This is what she does every day.
I know. I see it. I notice it every week, but I just want to give her a shout out today, man. Like this is a very thorough playlist she's made. If we could just get
shout out.
Yeah, shout out, man. Shout out to you, Carolyn.
Shout out, indeed. The texter says it's easy to play. It's easy to say you're playing too many dudes. Play just 8 dudes, but you can't play just 8 dudes with the style of defense he's playing. I mean, if you are going to play 94 feet, it means if you're going to play full court, you're going to expend a lot of energy.
And how many times do they gamble on defense and give up all kind of plays because they're playing stupid out of control on defense?
Alex Lomax.
What are we talking about, man? There's nothing like
Riverboat
super
gambler,
sexy about
baby.
Memphis defense. It's not like you've got this world-beating defense out there, man. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, okay, more of the same, please. Just sign me up for that. When you're out there pressing and teams are actually good, treat your press like it's nothing, okay. And then, man, if you're playing all these guys because you're trying to pacify guys' attitudes, those guys are probably still going to transfer anyway. Like if you're saying I got to play 15 guys because I got guys who are going to be complaining about playing time, those guys are probably still going to leave regardless of whether you play them, none or you playing whatever minutes you're playing them. Like they're probably still going to leave because they're either good enough to be on the court or they're not. So.
It's just that if you're going to play a whole bunch of serious extreme defense, you're going to have more guys out there. That's true, but guys have to also make better decisions and stop gambling. I totally agree with that as well. Now from college football point of view, yesterday being signing day, crazy stuff. Lots of people signing, kids signing here, kids signing there, and all that. Wonderful. However, you have a couple of different situations cropping up from a legislative point of view that are really interesting. Number one, Cory Booker, the senator from the New Jersey area, Cory Booker plans to introduce a bill in Congress, and there was a Republican-backed bill. He's a Democrat. There was a Republican-backed bill a few months ago, and they're going to sort of try to kind of find some kind of compromise here. But his bill that is being introduced in Congress would completely change the sport. It would allow for It would allow for the return of the NCAA football game, first of all, because it would allow group license deals. It would require schools to share 50% of revenue amongst themselves. It would allow for open transfers and would dissolve the letter of intent completely. There would be no more signing a letter of intent to play with a school. It would also create lifetime scholarships, so you would be able to come back whenever and finish up your scholarship, and established a medical trust fund as a result of this. It's much it's a far cry and a much bigger expansion than the name, image, and likeness bill that they're trying to that's the Republican-led bill that's being introduced there. This is a much more expansive situation as well. So this would, if this were enacted, it would completely change college sports entirely.
Yeah, and I think I'm like a zillion% down for all of this. Like, yeah. He had me at bringing back the NCAA football and basketball games. Like, yeah, I was in.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had to hear. Okay, where do I sign? Where do I?
You don't sign anywhere because you're not a congressperson. You're not a senator, so you don't sign anywhere. But you can.
Hey, I learned
support
something.
it.
I learned something during this election campaign. Who do I need to vote for to get this?
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, man. Who do I need to vote for to get
well,
my opinion pushed forward, man? Who's my who?
At this
who
point,
are,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you can do. The Cory Booker's New Jersey senator, so there's not much really there. You can move to New Jersey, I guess, and vote for Cory Booker if you want.
So who?
Otherwise,
who's the people? Who does that here, man?
Yeah, I don't really. Your senators here are not probably going to be in support of this. So
I'll let you say that. I'll stay out of those.
I don't think it's very. It's not even really very controversial for me to say that. I think that's just fact. That's the way that it is.
Just
trying
to play some college video games, man.
So what you have is you have a senator, Roger Wicker from Mississippi, who introduced a bill that was much more narrowly focused on name, image, and likeness. Not this is a much more expansive bill that starts to talk about revenue sharing and dissolving letters of intent and all that stuff. The other proposal from their senator from Mississippi is much more focused in. It's what the NCAA would prefer to have that legislation pass, because they would like to have some cover on this, but they don't want the legislation that is really big and wide and expansive and all that to pass, because then they would be in significant trouble. Also, the NCAA has another situation on their hands, because the Supreme Court announced yesterday that it's going to hear an appeal from the NCAA and conferences in a case that challenges restrictions on the compensation athletes can receive for playing sports. So this could be it's never really happened. The Supreme Court doesn't typically take cases involving sports, especially college sports. And then this is a challenge to amateurism, so the Supreme Court would theoretically weigh in, and that could. And I would assume the NCAA might be happy with this. They may weigh in on their behalf in this case. We'll see, but that could have some major implications as well. The lower court rulings thus far would make the NCAA in violation of antitrust law, which means that they would not be able to determine the rules about benefits that schools can give athletes. And so if the Supreme Court agrees with that, then that would pretty much set it in stone that the NCAA couldn't limit benefits to athletes given by schools. So there's kind of two different approaches here, but both of them could theoretically change a lot about college sports. So
Texas says
keep an eye on that.
NBA, baseball, NFL, all profit sharing is fine. Those are private industries. The government telling schools to share revenue sounds a lot like communism. Where do I sign up for communism? Where's that? Where's the line for that? Where's the line for communism?
Yeah, we do tend to like more of a socialist approach to our sports. Everyone likes the revenue sharing. I mean, the Grizzlies would not exist in Memphis except for socialism in terms of revenue sharing and equitable giving up of TV deals and all that stuff. So It's funny. It's funny how we run away from it in one aspect, but we love it in our sports, but we hate it in other aspects. I don't know. Yeah, that would be difficult. There's going to be a lot of schools that wouldn't like it, but the question of is it the school itself? I mean, the school itself is not a private industry, but it's not exactly the full-on public good either. Especially the athletic department. There's a difference there. A lot of money is coming through. As I'll continue to say, man, if you want to be amateurs, be amateur. I'm down for it.
Yeah.
So that means if you want to be amateur, don't sign any TV deals.
Let's be amateur.
Be amateurs. You don't have to. Don't sign TV deals. I mean, if you want to do a deal with a local PBS station to cover your games, then great. Public broadcasting, wonderful. Let's show these amateur athletes and let's get them some publicity out there. But otherwise, if you want to start taking money from television networks and revenue deals and advertising and all that other stuff, okay, well now that cat's out of the bag. So the people that are actually performing need to get a piece of that action, and right now they don't. That's really what it comes down to. If you want to treat it like amateurs, hey,
be amateurs.
Go crazy. Be amateurs. Be all the way amateur.
Step away from the middle ground, man.
That's fine.
You gotta close to God.
Don't start taking $8 million, $9 million salaries for your coaches.
Come on, man.
If you want to be amateur, pay the coach $40,000 to coach the team, and don't pay anyone else anything, and play the games on the intramural grounds, and there you go. That's extracurricular activity. What you're doing right now, what the NCAA has right now is business, and that's a different thing completely. Hour number 1 in the books. Hour number 2 will begin with John Gassaway next. Stick around on this chilly Thursday.
Rocking around, the Kia rides have a happy holiday. That's right, Mid-South. Gossett Kia on the Pike is rocking away at the Kia Holiday Sales Event. Command the season. And gift wrapping is available on your 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. So get them what they really want this season, a new ride from Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike. Or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 29910, MSRP $20,625. Sold M7755 682, MSRP $20,315, K5 MG 003199, MSRP $25,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20. Dealer stock only.
When you think about Memphis-style hot wings, you better be thinking about Crumpy's Hot Wings, because they're made from the freshest ingredients and always deliver that mouth-watering taste that you expect from your hot wings. Now you can visit their new location at 420 South Germantown Parkway. You can also call them at 901-207-1273 and see for yourself why Crumpy's is simply the best. Ask for the Sports 56 Special, which is 20 pieces of whole wings, large fries, and 4 drinks at just $38 for your family or group gatherings. Crumpy's Hot Wings, simply the best.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 29910, MSRP $20,625. Sold M7755 682, MSRP $20,315, K5 MG 003199, MSRP $25,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695. Excludes tax title license with approved credit warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20. Dealer stock only.
Are you ready to be happy this holiday season? Well, we Gossett you covered at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. So come be happy with Kia's holiday sales event. Command the season. 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. Stay happy all season long with Forte $142, Soul $148, Kia K5 $192. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
Water damage to your home or business can be an absolute nightmare. And the faster you remove the standing water, the faster you can prevent secondary damage. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services specializes in water extraction. They have been a trusted name in the Mid-South for over 20 years. They are a Memphis-based company ready to serve your needs with their 24-hour emergency response. They are always on call and will respond within an hour. They work with most insurance companies and are the official restoration contractor of the Memphis Tigers home team. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services can't prevent disasters in your home and at your business, but their water damage team will certainly respond quickly to minimize and restore the damage. Call 901-452-0390. That's 901-452-0390 or online at landmarkco.org.
75 months at 3.4%. G4 LHF 129.69. MSRP 17,064. Outlander LZO 423.83. MSRP 26,235. PEV LZO 388.19. MSRP 38.1. Outlander PEV qualifies for a $5,836 federal tax credit. Consult your tax advisor. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax filing license with approved credit. CD for complete details. Offer ends 12/31/2020. Dealer stock only.
Where can you find 0% APR for 60 months, plus up to $1,000 cash back on 2020 crossovers, plus $500 holiday cash, plus payments at $99 a month? We Gossip at Gossip Mitsubishi on the Pike during the 2020 year-end sales event. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Buy for $11,749 or $99 a month. 2020 Outlander. $20,571 or $259 a month. Plus crossover with 4x4 off-road capabilities with 74 MPG. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid EV. $25,099 or $299 a month. Not leases, you own them. And Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossip Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
The only accident on the roadway so far this morning is crash on Old Getwell Road at Lamar Avenue. The only other incident out there right now, if you're heading on Getwell Road towards American Way by 240, we're dealing with a patch of ice on the roadway in that direction, in that area. So Getwell Road, northbound between American Way and 240, there's still ice on the roadways. The crews are on the scene to clear it up. So guys, just take it easy out there. I'm not sure if we're dealing ice in different parts of the city or whatnot, but just take it easy out there just in case. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Hour number 2 is here. It's cold outside, so we're going to warm you up with a little good old-fashioned sports talk. How about that in the Family Leisure Studios? Peter Edmiston, Desandre Williams with you. His waiver was approved by the NCAA last night,
man.
so he's able to play this morning. Zacchaeus' waiver from the Bible Institute was not approved, sadly, so he is unable to participate. Zachary Boyd.
That's unfortunate, man.
America's
really is.
America's least knowledgeable deacon is with us as well. Joining us, a man who knows as much about college basketball as Zach knows little about the Bible, is our friend John Gassaway, who joins us now. A true expert in his field, unlike Zach Boyd. Good morning, John Gassaway. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent. Good morning from the snowy East Coast. How is everybody?
You guys are getting slammed up there. Do you just a real quick? Do you think Job was a disciple, John? I don't know if you're a Bible scholar or not. Do you think Job was a disciple?
Man, this has taken a decisive turn away from my skill set here. What do I do now?
Well, we just talked about Zach. Our producer Zach is also an ordained deacon, and yet seemed to struggle with some very basic information
basic
about
question.
who disciples were, and was Job a disciple? In fact, the answer was decidedly no.
No, that's
a lot.
even I know that. No, that's no.
Yeah,
no.
thank you.
But
Exactly. You're not an ordained deacon, and you're not even an ordained
Yeah,
deacon.
that's
for
the
crying out
answer.
loud.
If we go any deeper than this, I definitely need to phone a friend. All right.
Don't phone Zach. Zach isn't the friend you're looking for.
Yeah. Don't phone the ordained deacon. He said, "Oh, he's a deacon. He must know." No. Don't make any assumptions about that.
John,
how's the snow looking up there for you, John Gassaway? Before we get too much further.
I am living the dream, Peter. I'm literally looking out my front windows at my neighbor dressed like he's at Ice Station Zebra. He's snow blowing the sidewalk in front of my house, and I'm in here with a nice cup of coffee and my dog talking to you guys. So it doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, that sounds like the good life, man. It sounds like the good life indeed.
Well, last night we spent a lot of time talking about the University of Memphis situation. They beat Tulane. It was not an overwhelming performance by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a win. And it begins conference play, the 20 conference games they will play, double round robin. But my question, John, from a committee point of view, Memphis comes in with a 4-3 non-conference record, having St. Mary's is the best win, nothing some just not some great stuff, some otherwise utterly unimpressive non-conference wins, and there's really nothing else that they're going to have an opportunity to show, apart from I guess the games against Houston, maybe SMU.
There you go.
I don't know,
But
I'm saying it all depends on the perception of the conference. But if a conference is only playing itself, how do you judge conference versus conference? So with a team like Memphis, what's the committee going to do?
Take heart, Peter. There's lots of success stories of teams from conferences that are quite rightly questioned. They roll up a good record against the questionable conference, and they do fine. If we had a tournament last year, San Diego State would have had a really, really, really high seed, and the Mountain West was not a Zeus-like council of giants last year by any means. So it can be done. Beat Houston. It's unfortunate that unless I'm missing something, unless I'm looking at one of those incomplete pandemic schedules, I believe the Tigers only get Houston once this year, which is a bit unfortunate because
they get them twice. I believe they get them twice.
They do.
I believe,
all right,
I believe they get them
corrected.
twice.
That's great.
I believe that's right.
That's great. Okay, sweep Houston, no problem. And
that's right.
You're looking at a really good resume in an otherwise we think again early. Not so special American. So it can be done, and still a lot of basketball to be played, and beating Tulane might not look like much, but winning on the road definitely beats the alternative. It's better to win that game than to lose it. So take care of business coming up here against Tulsa and South Florida and go from there.
Well, the whole college basketball world, we've had the whole controversy last week with Nate Oates and Coach K and all that stuff seems to be, I guess, more or less behind us. And Duke picked up a nice win yesterday against Notre Dame. As you see conference play start to kind of get underway for the most part, and you see teams trying to deal with all this. After about a month or so of the season, what kind of impact on the court are we seeing from lack of fans and from these weird schedules and from everything else that's gone on?
It is a different year, and we're going to look back on it and say, man, wasn't that strange? If you're like me, you just feel good about the fact that there's basketball and that you can watch it. But this is a very, very odd set of circumstances. We were talking, we being ESPN types, we were talking in real time last weekend when Keontae Johnson collapsed, and thank goodness, the latest reports there are that he's talking, he's laughing, he's with his family. But that for a few moments there, that looked like that could be a season ender for the entire sport, because our understanding is that he had tested positive previously for COVID, and if what happened to him is in some way related to COVID, then what are we doing here? Why are we putting young people in this situation? Is it really worth it? Answer: absolutely not. So knock on wood, it appears that that he's going to be okay, and maybe we can do this and do it safely. But at the other end of the important spectrum from that, you mentioned Duke. That is a really good win they got, because for those not following the Blue Devils, their best freshman, we think their best freshman, is out, Jalen Johnson, with a foot injury until further notice. And they still won by 10 on the road after looking rather meek and mild at home against Illinois in the previous outing. So maybe there's hope for these one-and-done types after all. Maybe even Kentucky will get it going eventually, and we can have some of the same veteran versus one-and-done arguments we have every year, even though this is the strangest of seasons, and we'll muddle through and play some ball.
John, are you surprised that there weren't more people or more kickback from the Keontae Johnson situation? Because when I saw it, I had the same response as you. I was like, oh, crap, if this goes bad, it's possible. I mean, there would be some, people will be saying, why are we doing this at all? Are you surprised that there hasn't been more kickback as far as this is concerned?
I'll admit, in real time, I was stunned. In real time, on the text group with my colleagues, we were all stunned. Reportedly, and this was a game, Florida was playing at Florida State, and, no surprise, Leonard Hamilton, the class act of all class acts, reportedly said to Mike White after this had happened, look, it's up to you and your players whether you want to keep going with this. And we were, meaning the game, it happened early in the first half.
Right.
And we were surprised that the game continued. I don't even want to refer to another situation 30 years ago that this made me think of in real time. But there was no question at that time of any game continuing. It stopped right there, and that was it. We were a little surprised the game kept going. Again, thank goodness Johnson appears to be okay. It was a tough situation for the announcers to be in. Of course, this year the announcers were remote, but it was just odd to be hearing about, oh, Florida State looks great, and they're really building some momentum. And the natural reaction is, who cares? It reminded me, if anybody can think back to this, but at the other end of the pandemic, last March when it was just starting, we had kind of a similar moment in the Big Ten tournament where Fred Hoiberg was overcome on the sideline while coaching Nebraska. And
he looked like he was dying. Like he looked.
And we didn't know anything at that point. We didn't know how COVID worked or what this was. We thought, my God, does he have it? And
he didn't even have it. Yeah.
Right. And other coaches and other players were touching him. I was watching the game, thinking, stop being around this guy. And in theory, it was an important game. They happened to be playing, Nebraska did nothing last year, but they were playing Indiana. Indiana needed the win for, bubble consideration. I run Bubble Watch, and I could not, for the life of me, focus on the game itself. I was just watching Fred Hoiberg. That was the feeling I had watching Florida State. It was really scary, scarier than I think got out. And thank goodness, it looks like it's going to have a satisfactory outcome. And definitely wishing all the best for Keontae Johnson.
Right. But in hindsight to the whole Fred Hoiberg thing, the actual funny part was the assistant coach spitting in his hand to sanitize. It was.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that was the one good thing that we did.
You know,
that does not work, guys.
In March we were all idiots. You know,
right?
We didn't know we didn't know anything. Yeah.
Well, here we are in December, and we're
still.
Yeah,
and it is depressing. So let's think about the slightly happier things. We've got with the CBS Sports Classic Saturday in Cleveland has been swapped around. You've got North Carolina now against Kentucky, UCLA, Ohio State will be in the nightcap. They wanted to, quote, to more closely align COVID-19 testing protocols between the competing programs and their respective conferences. This is one of those examples, John. One thing, if not that we could take anything from, a COVID year and just how miserable it's been for the most part. One of the few positive things that we've seen, though, is this sort of loosey-goosey scheduling in both college football and in college basketball, both for men and women. I kind of hope we see more of this. I really am enjoying these challenge games and the fact that a couple days before we can just swap up a competition because we need to align things a little more clearly. I like this. I don't know why we've made this such a big deal to have to schedule things out months, years, in college football, decades in advance. I like this. It's on Thursday. You want to play a game Saturday? Let's go.
Sign me up. Among the things that might never be the same again after the pandemic, the whole business of commuting into the office for work. Will there still be snow days when everybody can do virtual anyway for school? Right. Let's add college basketball scheduling to that list. I got out in front of this. I got to say, John Gassaway, before the pandemic was a gleam in his eye, was out front stumping for a non-conference, challenge. I probably nominated January for it. Whoever the top four teams in the polls are, same conference, different conferences, I don't care. But along the lines of the Champions Classic, once we've actually seen some basketball, top four teams, kind of Champions League style. Okay, you're in, and let's meet at the same venerable spot, maybe Hinkle Fieldhouse or something at Palestra. I don't care, and let's do that. In that same vein of flexible scheduling, I like that, and I understand why athletic directors don't like that. I understand why they want things organized and why coaches want to be able to scout teams millions of years in advance. But it's cool. When both coaches are in the dark until 36 hours beforehand, it's still equal. Nobody has a scouting advantage. So let's do it. Let's see what happens. I'm right there with you, Peter. I love this. And at the top of this question, you mentioned North Carolina playing Kentucky. I want to see that game. There is no team to me more mysterious than North Carolina. They very nearly beat Texas, and if they had, we'd be saying, whoa, look at North Carolina this year. They also very nearly lost to North Carolina Central at home. So, in addition to getting ground to dust by Iowa, but there's no shame there. I don't know what to make of the Tar Heels this year. I've got my little systems that I have every year on my laptop. This year, my laptop just shrugged and was like, I don't know. So we're at a loss with North Carolina this year.
Well, and we were talking about this earlier on too. North Carolina also, and then Kentucky. What is? There's been a normal kind of pathway for John Calipari's teams to go,
right,
where they kind of struggle at first and sort of play some weird games, and then by March they look pretty good, and they end up having several guys drafted and whatever. Is this that, or is this something more deeper
See, I mean, I'm biased, but at least with Kentucky, as you allude to, we feel, rightly or not, we've seen this movie before, and he's got the one and done guys, and they'll kind of stumble their way through November and December, and then they'll get an 8 seed in the NCAA tournament, and some plucky up by their bootstraps number 1 seed will play them and lose because they're not as talented as Kentucky. Lather, rinse, repeat. It's just going to happen. So maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this year will be different, and Kentucky really will be. Their struggles will continue. That's why I rated North Carolina somewhat above the Kentucky situation in terms of calling for Scooby and the gang. But hey, I could be wrong, and this game between the two teams that will help settle this, and I'll be there eagerly watching.
What is the impact for you nationally? We obviously locally here, one of the biggest names impacted, DeAndre Williams, joins Memphis as a part of the blanket waiver approval that the NCAA enacted yesterday. Are there some other names around the country that you are paying attention to as a result of that, and will that materially change any other teams?
The short answer is not as much as in a normal regime, and I don't mean in terms of COVID. I just mean the NCAA has gotten markedly more forgiving in its waivers over the past, I would say, 2 to 3 years, and the bulk of players in this bin had already been waived through. Whether your example or the Hausers from Marquette, the Hauser brothers, or we've got lots of Carly Jones at Louisville. We've got lots of players who were playing somewhere else last year, and they're ready to go out of the box and playing for their new team this year. And not all of these necessarily are graduate transfers either. These are old traditional undergraduate situations. So it's a new day at the NCAA in a lot of ways. There's even talk now of the Supreme Court taking a case on amateurism itself and specifically compensation of players. I think that the NCAA is moving on these fronts faster than it used to. A lot of the waivers have been approved already. And obviously, as you allude to, it can still, the blanket approval given yesterday can still make a significant difference for an individual team that had a player still in limbo. But across the game as a whole, it's kind of a new day, and waivers are more forthcoming, and we're moving ever more closely to the wacky John Gassaway idea of Premier League style transfer windows, where it's just a open market free for all. And I would love to see that. It would be fascinating as a fan, and oh, by the way, it would be justice for the players. So let's do it.
John, what do you think that means going forward? Do you think that that's something that you'll see that almost where there won't be any time off the guys have to take after transferring? Do you think that's something that's headed soon, or do you think that's just because of the COVID situation, it's just something they're doing just specifically for this season?
No, I really think we will get there, and I'm quite serious. I would be a sucker if I put an estimated time on it. But Peter probably read me back in the day railing at the RPI. It's gone, so
you killed it. You killed it. Yeah. You did it.
Oh, it was all me. It was all me, baby.
You're standing there with a smoking gun and the shotgun.
The NCAA,
and John Gassaway, another victim.
This blogger at Basketball Perspectives who had 300 followers, and he's like, he makes some good points, right? Yeah. Hey, Mark, get Mark Emmert on the phone. Yeah, it was all me, baby. So yeah, I think we will get there with transfers. It's funny how during during legitimate real world crises like COVID and going considerably further back, World War II. This is what we always do. transfers are always immediately eligible when there's something huge in the world going on. And during World War II, there was a player who transferred in the middle of the season from St. John's to Dartmouth, and he took Dartmouth to the national championship game, and people were just shrugging, no big deal, we can do this. We can do this before the season instead of in the season, and transfers can be immediately eligible, and it would be, again, fun to watch as fans. And if a player's miserable and wants to go elsewhere and there's a spot for him, why not?
Why not, indeed. And I also want to say big thank you. For all the gripes that I often have with the NCAA's men's basketball selection committee, compared to the college football playoff committee that we're seeing, they are amazing. So kudos. I didn't realize that the committee-ship would be so difficult, but football is getting it a million times wrong. And so to see the basketball, maybe I was too harsh on these men and women. Maybe I was too harsh on them, John. So I don't know. It seems like
you weren't. No, there should be the problem is the word committee. There should be no committees in sports. My proposal is on the table. Let's get rid of the committee. But yeah, that football thing was unfortunate, no doubt.
Ugh, good Lord. Absolutely terrible. All right, so he is, of course, John Gassaway. Stay bundled up, my friend. Little hot cocoa and some marshmallows and a little light reading should get you through a tough day like this. So appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for taking some time.
Hey, thanks for having me. Talk to you soon.
He's the best. John Gassaway joining us to talk college hoops. When we return, we'll talk a little bit about tonight's matchup as the Grizzlies return to FedEx Forum for the first time in 9 months. Babies were created and have been born in the time since the Grizzlies played a game in FedEx Forum. And
good God.
Probably lots of them, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been listening to this show.
It's a lot of COVID babies out there, man. They're popping up on the horizon.
They certainly are. We'll talk about that matchup, Grizzlies Hawks, tonight when we return from the Family Leisure Studios. Stick around.
I'm with Wallo and Stacks. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
Hey friends, all aboard to A&J Catfish Station's newest location in Millington at 7838 Church Street. A&J Catfish Station has delicious light-battered farm-raised catfish and mouth-watering big fried shrimp. Try the popular blackened catfish or fresh fried filet and whole channel catfish. Then there's mouth-watering mac and cheese, homemade tartar sauce, great burgers and fries, and fresh vegetables. Got a sweet tooth? Enjoy A&J's Peach Cobbler, voted #1 in Memphis. A&J Catfish Station, now the new location in Millington at 7838 Church Street.
James Davis is one of those stores that just says Memphis. It's an original. The finest men's clothing in Memphis can be found in the Laurelwood Shopping Center at James Davis. Let's start with the Stant Custom Fitting System. This is relatively new. You can only find it at James Davis Men's Store, and it's where you walk through the door. You're going to take 3 quick measurements, about 15 seconds, and then about a week later, you're going to get the perfect fitting shirt. I mean, in the neck where you can tie your ties comfortably, all kinds of colors, all kinds of fabrics. The same thing with pants. A couple of measurements. A week later, you've got a perfect fitting in the waist, in the leg, pair of pants that makes you feel good. And they still have the great Paul Battenley suit deal. 2 for $7.95. You look great on Zoom calls. Sweaters and pullovers, perfect for eating outside. The best place to go for men's clothing in Memphis. It's simple. James Davis Men's Store in the Laurelwood Shopping Center.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, Call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elders Roofing Solutions.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year, happy holidays. But holidays are not always happy, particularly for guys grappling with a divorce that they didn't choose. These men need more than the help of a good lawyer. They need the hope and encouragement of a good friend.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Memphis attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Office in Memphis, 6000 Poplar Avenue, Suite 225, Memphis, Tennessee, 38119.
Hey, I heard that you just got a new car.
Yes, I sure did, and I could not believe how simple it was.
Really? Tell me what happened.
I bought my car at Cars Inc. They are family owned, and the choices of cars were the best I've ever seen. They even said they could price match with anyone and help me with whatever financing I needed.
Wow, it does sound like they know what they are doing.
Their family has been in the car business for over 30 years, and they're excited about being in Memphis.
Where are they?
5095 Cummington Way, and their phone number is 901-623-7180.
Sports 56 traffic.
We got new accidents on the roadways this morning. Have an accident on 9 Arnold Road at Ridgeway. Also, we have a crash on I-240 northbound at Lamar Avenue. The right lane and the right shoulder is blocked. That's I-240 northbound at Lamar Avenue. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
We are celebrating wrestling news because we do every Thursday because of our man Dustin Starr joining us. Going to talk a little Grizzlies here momentarily. Reminder our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. Got something special for you tonight, as a matter of fact. The folks at FanDuel Sportsbook. Because, I hope you know by now. If you don't, let me tell you. It's perfectly legal and wonderful to bet here in the Memphis area. So you can do that in Memphis. You can do that in Nashville. You can do that, really, frankly, all over the state of Tennessee because it is perfectly legal to do so. But the folks at FanDuel, well, you know what? They've got some great stuff for you. And, in fact, tonight, something very special indeed. Because, of course, you've got the game that you can hear on Sports 56 between the Chargers and the Raiders. New users, well, here's something that you can jump into. New users can bet $5 to win $75 on Justin Herbert to throw one or more touchdowns against the Raiders tonight. $5. If Justin Herbert throws one or more touchdowns, you get $75. It's a plus 1,500 bet. You don't get odds like that very often, if ever. And you can do it if you're a new user tonight. Sign up today. FanDuel Sportsbook. That's FanDuel Sportsbook. Go to sportsbook.fanduel.com to get the app. They've got incredible promotions just like this that happen all the time. Simple app. Live betting on every game. Same game parlays where you combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. It's easy. And if you win, and I think that you will, you'll get your winnings in as little as 24 hours. It's time to get off the sidelines and bet. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and use promo code BIGHEAD to make your first deposit to claim that exclusive odds boost. Again, use promo code BIGHEAD. That's me with the giant dome. BIGHEAD to use to get that great promo for tonight. $5 could win you $75 as long as Justin Herbert throws at least one touchdown pass. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 14 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details for problem gambling support. Call 1-800-889-9789. Sane, we're going to talk a little bit about the Grizzlies here momentarily. One thing I do want to mention before we do that. I just saw this. I saw a little tweet from your friend of mine, Marcianato, and then I did some investigative work to confirm this. I had no idea about this. Maybe I'm off the map on this. I don't know. Did you know that DeAndre Williams is 24 years old?
No, he looks old. I didn't think
Tiger
so.
transfer DeAndre Williams would be the 5th oldest Grizzly. Only Grayson Allen, Kyle Anderson, Jonas Valanciunas, and Gorgie Jing are older on the Grizzlies roster than DeAndre Williams, Tiger transfer. 24! That's John Moran is 21. John Moran is 3 years younger than this man. What is happening right now?
Yeah, that dude's pretty old, man.
24?
And then people like, oh, that guy's a pro.
No,
he's pro age.
Not at all.
He's the age of a guy who was entering his prime, actually, in the league. So.
Justice Winslow is 24.
And
it's
and
crazy.
Justice Winslow is our vet.
He's like I said. There's only 4 guys that are older on the roster.
How old is Kyle Anderson?
27.
Yeah.
Yes.
Grayson Allen, Kyle Anderson, Jonas Valanciunas, Gorgie Jing are the only guys older on the roster than DeAndre Williams. I had no idea. I really didn't. I just I don't know. Maybe I'm late to the game on this. I don't know. In any event, the Grizzlies and the young squad that they've got are in action tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. As this could be a fun little. I kind of wish the Grizzlies and the Hawks could establish some sort of a rivalry because they're both teams. You know, the Hawks tried to accelerate their rebuild a little bit, but you've got the Trae Young thing. There's all kinds of different Trae versus Ja is fun. There's all kinds of reasons to like Memphis Atlanta, the MLK connection that I think they need to really take advantage of and use on MLK Day games. I really think that Memphis and Atlanta should be linked with all of that. So there's a lot of opportunity for that to be fun. I hope it happens. What do you expect to see tonight from the 2-0 preseason Grizzlies?
I hope it's going to be a win. I think it's going to be more of the same. I think that you'll still see them solidifying the style of play that they want to use when games start being for real. Probably a tighter rotation, more similar to what you'll actually see when games start being for real. I hope we beat Atlanta. I have my own self-started rivalry between us and the Hawks. I want to see us and teams that are close to us not like each other. Like I don't want a road trip to Atlanta to mean nothing. I want those close games, those games with Atlanta, games with New Orleans. I want those games to have some heat to it. And I'm not really a fan of everyone is slobbering down on the Hawks for what they did during the off season. But yeah, I'm not in love with everything they did. I think it's a total abandonment to what they had building over there with guys who, guys who I think by the end of the season are going to check out and just start collecting the paycheck. So, yeah, I hope that starts early. I hope that we come out and we beat them, even though, it's a preseason game.
We talked a little bit about the whole situation with Zaire Smith. Yesterday he was cut, but that's fine because it's an Exhibit 10. The whole point of signing an Exhibit 10 contract is to get the rights to players from the G League. So that's how those things work, just so people know. Because when you look at the transactions, it's kind of weird when you first see them and you're like, what? They cut this guy? And what's going on? They just signed this dude and they cut this other guy and all this stuff. They signed Christian Vital and then they cut all this. It's all for the G League rights, essentially. So when you sign a guy to an Exhibit 10 deal, that gives you a chance to pay him a little extra. You pay him a little extra to come to training camp, and in so doing, you get first crack at him in the G League. You have his rights, essentially, in the G League. And so that's what the Grizzlies wanted. I'm sure that's what they'll take advantage of in that whole situation. With Zaire Smith and Benny Boatwright and Vital and some of these other guys. They're going to do that a lot because they feel like they've got a nice culture now in place and they want to try to, to build from within, and that makes a lot of sense to do.
Yeah, I'm laughing off of this. We'll come back to that. But yeah, how many Exhibit 10s does an NBA team have? Like I really don't understand how that whole thing works. Because if you can do Exhibit 10s,
I don't.
What's the point of doing a two-way? Like, what's the point of putting a guy on a two-way if you could just do Exhibit 10s? I mean, because if you call that guy,
the money's the thing.
Then if you call that
guy, the player's not going to sign an Exhibit 10,
right? And if the Grizzlies have a guy on Exhibit 10 and they send it down to the Hustle, they call him back up to the Grizzlies and then cut him, they lose his rights, right?
Yeah. A player essentially, you sign an Exhibit 10. If you're not gonna, you have two-way slots. And those slots tend to pay a little bit more than the Exhibit 10, but that obviously guarantees you sort of whatever that position is, two-way. It's sort of on the roster and sort of not. Exhibit 10 is not a roster spot per se. It's a 1-year minimum salary contract, but the Exhibit 10 attachment built into it means that you can convert that contract into a two-way contract eventually, but it has to occur at some point. They also allow players to, and the more relevant thing for these guys is that you can earn a bonus when you are waived by the NBA team, and then sign a deal with that team's affiliate. So, and that doesn't count against the cap. So basically, it's like $50,000 is the max you can earn on that. So let's say they throw Zaire Smith. They say, man, look, we're going to sign you this Exhibit 10. We're going to waive you, but we want you to sign with the Hustle. We think we have a future, and here's $50,000. Basically that's what it comes down to. So you got a minimum deal plus $50,000 to do this. That helps offset that whole thing and makes it a little more lucrative for them. So that's that in a nutshell. That's kind of what the deal is there. That's why you do that.
Yeah, I'm with it though, man.
6 players. 6 is the limit though.
Okay, so I think we burned all 6, right? We've used because Shaq Goodman would be the last one, I think, right?
I don't know.
I think this is 6. Because it was the first, it was Tripp and Guy X who came after him. And then it was
Tripp, Caver.
Yeah, Tripp, Caver, Vital, Smith.
Boatwright.
Goodman.
Goodman. No, Buchanan.
Buchanan, yeah. Not Shaq Goodman.
Buchanan.
That wasn't
Shaq Goodman is not.
Shaq Buchanan, yeah. There you go. There's your 6 right there.
Yeah, if they're all, I don't know if those are all Exhibit 10s, but if there are 6, I'll just put it that way. I don't know. I know some of those are, but I'm not sure that all of them are. But some of them, like I don't think, like I'm not sure Caver is an Exhibit 10. I don't know. He may end up signing with the Hustle anyway, but some guys that you bring into camp or whatever, you don't have to make him an Exhibit 10. You do that for your higher level,
right,
like camp invitees / prospect type guys.
Gotcha.
Some guys don't need that, so I'm not sure that all those guys are Exhibit 10s. But I know Tripp, Boatwright, and Smith for sure were, and I would think Vital probably is. I don't know for sure on that one. So, but anyway, it's just a chance to bolster. It just shows what you're building, and it's a chance to use all the tools in your facility to be able to try to build your squad. And for the Grizzlies and for small market teams, you have to do that. You have to try to find some guys, even if it's just for no other purpose than to get a guy that eventually becomes valuable enough to include in a trade or something like that. You have to be able to cycle your talent and to get some talent going. And without being able to do it in free agency, you have to use the internal growth. And I think they've done a pretty good job of identifying those guys and helping them to get better.
Yeah, the Grizzlies clearly seem like they have a plan. Not really sure what the G League will look like this year, but they've got guys that they're keeping close tabs on, keeping their hands on. I'm sure that they'll practice, if nothing else, and practice doing something similar to what the Grizzlies do. They practice literally in the same arena, so I'm sure you'll see a chance to get those guys developed and a part of the system. And I like what they're doing. I'm not gonna act like I understand the value of all the guys that they got hands on, but some of the guys you can clearly see that they're worth taking a look at.
Yeah, I think you could see exactly what they are. You could see what they're going for. Now, in terms of tonight, it would be nice if you could see some of the guys that have been hurt come back into the mix. Obviously that's going to depend on a lot of things. But it's a shame if you don't see anything from like Jonte Porter, for example, or I'm not as concerned about like Brandon Clark or whatever. You kind of know what you're going to get with Brandon Clark at this point. I think he needs to get some time, but it's not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. But I would like to see Ajonte Porter and certainly Justice Winslow, and those guys. But Porter especially, you just don't know. He's just been this mysterious, oh man, if he can get healthy, Killian Tilly, if he can get healthy, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. Well, you want to see it. You want to start seeing it at some point, or else these guys aren't. It's going to be hard for them to break into the mix in the middle of a season if everybody stays healthy, and it's going to be hard to see much from them. So I would like to see what you can, if you can. Obviously, injury being what it is, there's only so much you can do, but that's been disappointing.
I know we're up against the break, Peter. Are we talking Tiger basketball at all again today?
Yes.
Because I love to address this last text that came in.
Okay.
We'll do that later on in the show.
The one about the Tigers on Channel 10?
No.
I think that's a great one.
Refresh your screen. Oh, yeah. Tigers on Channel 10. I'm down for that one all day long.
Oh, that was great.
But
it was we come on 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, the tape delay.
Yeah.
Oh, man, fantastic. I used to just to enjoy.
Is PAX still available? We still got PAX.
Yeah.
Because that's
the TV network or Paxton Lynch?
No, the
Paxton Lynch may still be available on the to do commentary. I think Paxton is available for that, as a matter of fact. All right, so we'll come back. We'll continue. Yes, to answer your question, yes.
I got to dig into that. We got to stop. We got to stop doing it, man. We got to stop.
When we return, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
Memphis Tiger fans, catch the Blue and Gray Show with John Stacey and Drew Barrett, Sunday nights from 5 till 7, right here on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
At Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and they are offering the Golden Opportunity December to Remember sales event.
Thanks, Stats. December to Remember is our biggest sales event of the year. We've got great deals on leases, special financing, 0% interest on 2020s and 2021s. Come see us at Lexus of Memphis.
Thank you, Brian, and happy holidays to all, and Merry Christmas, and we look so forward to 2021 and this year to forget 2020, but we look forward to 2021 at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com.
When you think about Memphis-style hot wings, you better be thinking about Crumpy's Hot Wings, because they're made from the freshest ingredients and always deliver that mouth-watering taste that you expect from your hot wings. Now you can visit their new location at 420 South Germantown Parkway. You can also call them at 901-207-1273 and see for yourself why Crumpy's is simply the best. Ask for the Sports 6 Special, which is 20 pieces of whole wings, large fries, and 4 drinks at just $38 for your family or group gatherings. Crumpy's Hot Wings, simply the best.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire-roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
You don't think about a lawyer until something goes wrong. When that happens, let attorney Stephen Leffler fight for you and your family. You don't leave the house in the morning expecting an accident, but it happens every day. A car wreck, you slip and fall, or you get accused of a crime and find yourself fighting for your reputation. Stephen Leffler has been fighting for you for over 35 years. Don't do it alone. Let Stephen Leffler fight your battles for you. Call Stephen Leffler, 901-527-8830, or go to LefflerLaw.com. Here to fight for you and your loved ones.
Wendy's Baconator is the ultimate bacon cheeseburger that puts all other cheeseburgers to cheeseburger shame. And now we're bringing that same big bacon energy to shake up and wake up your breakfast with the Breakfast Baconator. Stacked with the fresh cracked egg, sausage, cheese, and bacon. And right now, you can get a free Breakfast Baconator with purchase in the Wendy's app. So get to Wendy's and always be baconating. We got you.
Offer available at participating U.S. Wendy's for a limited time during breakfast hours only. Offer must be redeemed via the app. Account registration required.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, it's almost
So here's the thing.
Thriller?
This is about to be an all-timer. This is about to be an all-timer.
Listen,
Peter, listen.
So this is supposed to be La Parka.
This is not La Parka.
That's what I thought. Like, but every single video has Thriller on it.
Oh God.
Every single one has Thriller on it, and I'm sitting here like, this can't be his music.
Let me tell you something. WCW was too cheap to license. They couldn't afford to license anything. They had a bunch of knockoffs maybe, but that was no chance.
Zach comes into my studio. He's like, "Say, are you familiar with the rest of the day La Parka?" I said, "Yeah, he had like the hottest looking costume possible. He's wearing like a full skeleton. He's got a mask with a hoodie on it." Now
he's the chairman. He used to do a little chair dance.
Was this interest music Thriller? I was like, no. I said it might have been something like that vaguely sounded like Thriller or some knockoff or something. It wasn't Thriller. No. He said, "Oh well, we're back in 5 seconds." So
that's like,
what in the world,
I'm look.
What in the world?
I spend most of my time trying to find the right stuff.
Find what?
Like his rights, the right song for him. But every single one is like Thriller. Like, I don't know. Like, my hands are tied here.
Zach, I'm willing to bet that that's not true. I bet I can go in there in 10 seconds and find
like
actual,
there is one song that is different, but I don't trust it. I don't.
What do you
trust
mean you don't
it.
trust it?
Man, but you trusted that this theme song was Thriller.
No, that's the only one I could come
All right,
back
give me
with.
10 seconds.
Okay.
You guys talking about
I've already found it. I've already
Thank
found
you.
it.
I mean, come on, Zach. What are we talking about?
What's the name of it?
It's La Parka WCW theme song. Just La Parka WCW theme song on YouTube. It's done. Nailed it. It took me less than 5 seconds.
Okay. Like,
this is something with Thriller, but this was in 2006 when with some fake Michael Jackson impersonator is coming up.
Yeah, no, I mean like I'm talking about when he was in WCW.
Yeah,
like, what did he?
come on.
This is not no.
they need to do a better job of labeling what is what, because all I see is Thriller on here mostly, and I'm like, this is not Thriller.
Yeah, maybe he's just our bootleg and Thriller is his theme song once WCW was over. Makes you wonder how old were those dudes, man? Because those dudes are like still wrestling right now.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, we talked about Tom Cruise yesterday. He's 58. So I mean, these guys keep doing it.
Oh man, that got me right.
It's
there.
fantastic.
It's
All
excellent.
right,
Well,
so,
we got like 5 seconds left, so I was like, oh okay.
So anyway, now you were going to say about the University of Memphis.
Yeah, man. Texas says we were talking about DeAndre Williams. We cracked about him being 24 years old, older than most of the Memphis Grizzlies except for 3 dudes. Texas says, Peter, I guess I'll lump myself in this too because I was in on the joke as well. It says, Peter, do you have any idea what this kid may have gone through to get where he is, and you're cracking on him because of his age? And I think he should be applauded for sticking to it and achieving his goals and his education. I'll speak for you, Peter. No, you don't have any idea what this kid's gone through. And stop acting like you would care if this kid didn't play for the University of Memphis. Like, that whole thing bothers me so bad, bro. You know that. You wouldn't, whoever this text is, you would not care anything about this kid if he didn't play for the University of Memphis or if he wasn't a pro athlete. So stop trying to act like he's some victim because he's 24. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Stop acting like you care about DeAndre Williams. Because if he had committed to Memphis and changed his mind and went to go play to another school, you would have called him a bum. So stop.
Well, the other issue to me is, I just said he was 24.
I mean, what did we say?
Bad about it.
Yeah,
I didn't
man,
think bad about the guy.
He's old. He's old as hell playing college basketball. So what? I know a guy that was 30 that was playing college basketball. So hey,
I mean, I don't understand why people are so sensitive about that.
Anything. Stop it.
He's old.
He's old. No, he's old as hell.
We used to joke about Precious Achiuwa being old.
Joked about Precious. Joked about Joey Dorsey. A bunch of old dudes.
Joke. Yeah, Joey Dorsey was 30.
He was older than a lot of guys in the league.
Joey Dorsey was older than some of the coaches. And he was out there playing.
Come on, man. Older than the refs, man. What are you talking about?
He was. I mean, come on. So if it's not even.
People got to stop the fake stuff, man. You don't
care.
care.
Like, why would you be? I mean, like, why would you? But forget about even don't care. Like, even if
you don't care, man.
Even if they do care, why does it matter? Like,
why does that matter?
Negative? What was that? That wasn't a negative comment. It was about him as a person. Like, what is that? How is that a negative comment about him as a person?
Come on, man.
That he's old.
You don't know what he had to get through to get. Yeah, he went through.
What does that mean?
Like he went through a lot of school.
He's old, yeah.
Went through
He's
24
older.
years.
Like, so what? That's fine. There's lots of people that are older. I don't know. Like it happens. It's no knock on him. I wasn't like, wow, I can't believe this. What are you talking about?
Anthony Edwards got to stop talking too, man. We got to stop putting mics to Anthony Edwards' mouth. He's not making anything.
What did he say this time? What did he say?
Talking about coming off of screens and guarding screens and picks in the NBA. He said, it's hard to guard screens in the NBA. Them dudes big. Them dudes setting them screens, they be big. Once I watch enough film on that, it'll become easy for me because I'm pretty big also.
I mean, he's right.
It's funny how people
do be big.
I'm going to say this too, man. It's funny how conveniently media members translate and don't translate what guys are saying. That's another thing. But
what do you mean?
Whole nother conversation. Like when people use loose language, sometimes guys clean it up and sometimes they don't. Depends on who's saying it. Sometimes they just let it fly. But
how do you feel about that? Should people correct? We've actually had this discussion with editors a few times about this whole thing. Like, should you clean up language at all?
I don't clean it up whenever I had to transpose something, but I did it pretty much across the board. Like I didn't selectively. Oh, look at let's show James Edwards doing. I mean, Anthony Edwards doing. Let's show Anthony Edwards doing using bad grammar. Let's put that out there. Like it's not cool, man.
I mean, sometimes I don't know. There were some tricky ones. I don't know. I've had a few that if I think it's important to, generally I'll correct it, but
right.
If I think it's important to the way
keep it the way it is. Yeah. Tony Allen would say stuff sometimes where I knew what he was trying to say, so I would kind of clean it up and still get his point across.
I think, exactly. Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Because he would say, "I know one thing for sure, and two for certain." He would say that. He would say different variations of that every time. So I would kind of put with, okay, I think is what Tony's trying to say. So I'll do that sometimes, but yeah.
Right.
But whatever you do, just do it across the board, man. Like
Agreed. When we return, Dustin Starr, 5-star, going to join us to talk a little professional wrestling. We'll do that on the other side in the Family Leisure Studio. Stick around.
All 75 months at 3.4%. G4 LHF 129.69. MSRP 17,064. Outlander LZ 042383. MSRP 26,235. PEV LZ 038819. MSRP 38.1. Outlander PEV qualifies for a $5,836 federal tax credit. Consult your tax advisor. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax filing license with approved credit. CD for complete details. Offer ends 12/31/2020. Dealer stock only.
Where can you find 0% APR for 60 months? Plus up to $1,000 cash back on 2020 crossovers. Plus $500 holiday cash. Plus payments at $99 a month. We gossip at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike during the 2020 year-end sales event. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Buy for $11,749 or $99 a month. 2020 Outlander, $20,571 or $259 a month. Plus crossover with 4x4 off-road capabilities with 74 MPG. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid EV, $25,099 or $299 a month. Not leases, you own them. And Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Ryan Radke and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner here from Westwood One with a preview of Thursday Night Football, sponsored by Prilosec. Treat your frequent heartburn with Prilosec OTC. Week 15 kicks off with AFC West rivalry action. The Chargers, led by rookie quarterback Justin Herbert, and the Raiders. And Derek Carr and the Raiders won a close game in their Week 9 meeting. How do you see Act 2?
Well, Act 2 to me is really about the Raiders. This is a team that was looking the playoffs right in the face, and now they're starting to struggle a little bit. They need to get back on track. really starts with Josh Jacobs running the football, and Derek Carr has been pretty consistent all year long, but needs to step up with the big plays. And then Justin Herbert's been great. They've got to find a way to stop him from getting big plays.
Join us from Las Vegas for the Chargers and the Raiders for Thursday Night Football. Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
Hey, frequent heartburn may keep you from running your A game, but it doesn't have to anymore. Join the Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge. Just go to prilosecotc.com. You'll get $3 off to get you started, plus 14 days of tips, tricks, and reminders. Just 2 weeks, zero heartburn. Go to prilosecotc.com and sign up today. Zero heartburn is possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Your crew has worked hard this year, so why not get them a gift to show your appreciation? Shop Lowe's for a DeWalt Power Detect 2-tool combo kit for $349. Mechanics wear Durahide Impact gloves at only $29.98. Or how about a Metabo HPT The Tank compressor for $199? Shop Lowe's in store or at lowesforpros.com. And while you're at it, pick up a little something for yourself too. Lowe's, the new home for pros. While supplies last, U.S. only.
It's on Mid-South employee pricing for all during the Big Finish 2020. So get ready to save big with 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4-wheel drive. IIHS top safety pick $22,990 or $296 a month. Or power up with 2020 Dodge Charger $24,890 or $299 a month. And we're talking Ram Tough in a 2020 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x2 $31,999 or $399 a month. It's time to get your ride on at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat. 1901 Covington Pike or online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost finance through Chrysler Jeep Ram 3,500 cash down, Charger 4,500 cash down, 4.11 APR, Cherokee MD 15674, MSRP 28,050, Charger XST LH 248,348, MSRP 32,860, Ram LG 290,329, MSRP 37,855, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Looking for a new home? Trying to sell your old home? Call Rule Smith of RE/MAX Experts for all your real estate needs. Buying or selling, you need a real estate expert like Rule Smith, 901-304-7827. Rule Smith is licensed in Tennessee with a decade of experience in the greater Memphis area. He knows the ins and outs of buying and selling a home, and he makes it easy for you. Count on Rule Smith's honest, no-nonsense approach to get the home you want, the home you need, and the home you can count on. Whether it's your first home, your next home, or your dream home, call real estate professional Rule Smith, 901-304-7827. That's 304-7827. With the help of Rule Smith, owning your own home is an easy change to make. Call Rule Smith's cell phone today, 901-304-7827, or call the RE/MAX Experts office at 901-685-6000, and let Rule Smith rule your real estate needs.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from Callaway. Save on the Maverick, Maverick Max, and Maverick Sub-Zero drivers with uniquely engineered faces designed by AI to improve club head speed and increase forgiveness. Now on sale for just $399. And save big on Chrome Soft and Chrome Soft X golf balls, now just $39.99 a dozen. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 299.10, MSRP 20,625, Soul M7755 682, MSRP 20,315, K5MG 003,199, MSRP 25,725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Are you ready to be happy this holiday season? Well, we Gossett you covered at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. So come be happy with Kia's holiday sales event. Command the season. 2020 Kia Forte, $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5, $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing. Stay happy all season long with Forte, $142, Soul, $148, Kia K5, $192. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
We We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Still dealing with the accident, on I-240 at Lamar. The right shoulder is blocked. Also, the right lane is blocked as well. There's I-240 northbound at Lamar Avenue. Also, accident on Knight Arnold Road at Ridgeway Road. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Hey, y'all. Can somebody call my mama? It's about to get funky up in here. Know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This, of course, Hulk Hogan's music. According to Zach.
No.
Is that right?
No.
Is that right?
No.
This is the Ultimate Warrior?
No, this is
John Cena?
This is Ernest the Cat Miller.
Oh, man.
Or some version.
That's actually not. Stop, man. It's not what that is.
That's what.
It's kind of. I mean, it's what he performed. He did have like a performance thing. The cat was what I always liked that. Basically,
he had like some fake James Brown stuff going on.
Yeah, he was good. He was all right. He was a legit kickboxer apparently. And Norman Smiley back in those days. It was great.
Yep.
Hour number 3 is here, presented by our friends at Acura of Memphis. I'm Pete. He's Sane. That's Zach. Zach's having a day. I gotta give him that. Zach is having himself a day today. And so we've talked about the Tigers victorious against Tulane last night. We talked about the Grizzlies taking on the Hawks. Tonight, preseason action continues down at FedEx Forum. We talked college football and the changes that could be coming, very cataclysmic changes. We have much more to discuss on all of those fronts coming up. But before we do that, of course, it is Thursday, 9 o'clock. So that means we talk a little professional wrestling with our friend and wrestler in his own right, wrestling performer, wrestling promoter, wrestling star, wrestling announcer, show host, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, 5-star Dustin Starr. Good morning. How are you, Dustin?
Good morning. What's up, guys?
What up, bro?
It is an awesome day in Memphis. Yes.
Yes.
All the things that you said, man. Pro wrestling, basketball. The weather's good. It's a little chilly, but the weather's good. I mean, everything's cool here in Memphis right now, right?
Yeah,
Are you going to be down at the Forum tonight? Doing how's all that going to work this year?
Well, so we're still kind of waiting about exactly what's going to happen with the preseason. You know, I've kind of heard that it's just going to be friends and family in the building. So, you know, and of course, tip-off of the season is the 23rd. We had some rehearsals this week and just tried to figure out how to be different in these socially distant times and all that kind of stuff. But it should still be a blast, you know, especially I think I read this morning it's the first home game at FedEx Forum in 252 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to believe. It's been a long time. So it's going to be cool to be back. So, you know, on the game ops side, you'll have a limited staff type of thing because you can't have, you know, 50 claw crew members anymore or what have you. And then, you know, we've been watching the NBA on TV and you can see that courtside looks a little bit different. Starting to look like hockey with some of the plexiglass. So things are changing literally every single day. The rules are kind of changing. So we'll see what we land on. But yeah, it should be a really good time. Good to be back.
Well, I'm curious, Dustin. Now, the whole idea that, you know, things are changing in the world of wrestling. I don't know. It seems this week maybe seems to have cemented it to some extent because, you know, AEW beat Raw in all 3 hours in the coveted 18 to 49 male demographic, the biggest demographic in wrestling, the most important one for everybody. AEW Dynamite beat Raw, and now there are some caveats about Raw going against Monday Night Football and blah 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 and all this, but this would have been unthinkable, months and certainly a year ago. And it kind of just feels like WWE is in some sort of, I don't know if trouble's the right word. They're so big, it's hard to imagine, but it feels like something is wrong, Dustin. And that just kind of, I don't know. I was just taken aback by what I saw. It's pretty amazing.
It is. It's very amazing. If you look back at, January, the Royal Rumble, when Drew McIntyre eliminated Brock Lesnar, we had our watch party, and people went crazy. It was packed. I mean, they were cheering the television. It was a different ball game in January. And you're right, it's hard to believe that little old AEW could outperform them, but they are really, really good, man. We talked about it last week, just all the big-time stars that they have, and then all the new homegrown talent. And I say new, like a Scorpio Sky has been wrestling, probably 10 years. Even Wardlow has been in the business, 6 or 7 years. But these guys are finally getting their opportunity, and they're outperforming. And so I think that the WWE, it's hard to say that they're in trouble. I think they're in neutral. They're sitting in neutral. They're waiting on something to break to where people can come back. And then, of course, they'll pack out a WrestleMania or something, or you'll see Brock Lesnar come back, or CM Punk is constantly in the news. So I feel like the WWE is just in neutral at this point. But I do hear they're profitable. It's just you've never seen Monday Night Raw's ratings get where they are now. I think it was, a 1.3, 1.5 or something. Mm-hmm. But then SmackDown is staying over 2 million. So, and then also that's not cable. That's Fox, so it's different. More people have access to it. So yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. The WWE's not in trouble, and I'm like you, man. They're like the Disney. They're not going to be in trouble, but the momentum could shift. And once the momentum shifts, we saw it with WCW and WWE, and one of those companies is no longer around. So it's cool, man. It's very cool to be a professional wrestler or a professional wrestling fan right now. If you watched AEW Dynamite, you saw Max Caster on the show and become victorious. He gets a tag team title match next week. 3 weeks ago, he wasn't signed. He was wrestling on Championship Wrestling every Saturday. So these guys are getting big opportunities. And like last night on NXT, Tyler Rust had a heck of a match. You guys might not know who Tyler Rust is, but if you watch NXT last night, him and Tommaso Ciampa had an absolute banger. To the point where Triple H was tweeting out, "We've got a next big star." And Russ Taylor, or Tyler Rust, whatever you want to call him, he was a tag team champion and a TV champion for many years at Championship Wrestling and then Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He's been in the business 15 years. So it's very, very cool to see some of these guys that have been grinding on the independents, getting their opportunity, and people getting to watch them. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Dustin, let's talk about the real news in wrestling that's been dominating everything I've seen. CM Punk had a sit-down interview with Renee Young, and she asked him, what would it take for him to get back in the ring? And he gave some pretty surprising answers, basically saying that it would take a good storyline, take a guy that he's never some guys he's never wrestled before, and a boatload of money. Do you think this is just CM Punk trolling? Do you think there's any actual chance that the Chick Magnet himself will be back in the ring?
Chick Magnet? Man, absolutely. Are you kidding me? CM Punk loves any type of headline that, he tweeted out, I don't know if wrestling's going to be around in 20 years. And then all of a sudden, all the dirt sheets are on it. Oh, you're not going to believe what CM Punk said. This dude can literally tweet something out and just cause a stir. So, yeah, man, there's still money on the table with that. And there's a ton of really good wrestlers that he's never wrestled before. He's been out of the business how long now? Is it, over 5 years?
Yes, over 5.
Maybe longer. So there's still something about CM Punk. And I know you never say never in professional wrestling. So I honestly think that CM Punk will eventually make his return. And me personally, I thought it probably would have been with the Retribution thing. And you and I and Peter, we've talked about that till we were blue in the face. It had to be somebody big. Well, look at them now. They're putting guys over every single week. They're no longer anything special. It's just another group. had CM Punk come back, probably wouldn't have been a good thing during the pandemic because look what happened with Matt Hardy when he made his debut in AEW. Now I kind of feel like he's sitting in neutral. He kind of cooled off because his debut was right when the pandemic hit, so there were no fans to cheer for him. But yeah, man, CM Punk, absolutely. He'll be back. Mark my words, CM Punk will be back in some capacity, and I believe it will be the WWE. That first step was him signing with Fox to be on WWE programming. It will happen.
Yeah,
he's one of the few guys that can really pop like that. There's not. I think that there was some talk, and because of how things have gone so south ratings wise for Raw, that maybe they want to do something big. There's not that much big out there other than CM Punk in my mind. I don't know who else would be a surprise or who else would pop things like he would.
That's a good point. When we were coming up with names of big name stars to be the head of Retribution and do something special, I mean, he was at the top of my list. The guy that was probably second would have been Wade Barrett, only because he was the guy that was the leader of the Nexus back in the day. But there's a big difference, and I love Wade Barrett, but there's a big difference in CM Punk and Wade Barrett. I do think that Brock Lesnar moves the needle. I know the internet hates him, but I think only 7% of the population is even on Twitter. So it seems like really large audience, but people love to see and watch Brock Lesnar. And
he's got impact, man. I mean, he is.
Oh yeah.
He brings like an attitude. He brings a whole charisma that not very many guys have.
And don't forget, in the WWE's back pocket at all times, they have the most electrifying movie star in all the world, The Rock. So there's already rumors going on that in 2022, now I know that's a year away, but a year is not that far to start building a WrestleMania. We saw him do it with Cena and The Rock a couple of years back, but Roman Reigns versus The Rock, I don't care who you are, you're probably going to tune into WrestleMania to watch The Rock.
Right.
So there's no way
they do that in an empty arena. It have to be like 22 or something. Like they're not going to do that and it's like partially filled. It's got to be like back to as close to what normal could be. But I'm a big fan of Chick Magnet Punk, so I'm hoping that actually happens.
Man, I hope you're calling him Chick Magnet Punk because this dude has dated some of the most beautiful female wrestlers throughout the locker room. Is that why you're calling him that?
Like, wasn't that his name at one time? Like, wasn't that like one of his aliases or something like that? I've heard that before.
Oh, the CM. Okay, yeah. I think they ripped him about that because, like, literally, some of the women that he's dated are like the most beautiful women that you would see in the WWE, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I've heard that was one of the things that CM stands for. What all have you heard that CM means? I heard he changed it around depending on who asked. So, like Chicago Made or something was one of them or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
One of the other things that were in the news too, I thought you guys would ask about is these WWE guys that Vince McMahon doesn't like. Sending them back to the Performance
I don't even want to
Center.
talk about it.
And one of those guys was Keith Lee. So that's been going around the campfire and around
in Memphis,
Twitter.
you don't dog out Keith Lee. That's all I know. I've learned that. You can't dog out Keith Lee in Memphis.
Nobody puts
it
Keith
ain't gonna
Lee
happen.
in the corner, man.
Nobody puts Keith Lee in the corner. Man, this is baffling to me. He's a good worker. I don't know what they're looking for.
One guy has some, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
One guy had some commentary on YouTube, and he was saying that he thinks it's because Keith Lee has more of a non-traditional big man style, and that Vince likes to, stand still and punch you, those type of bigs, like those old school, like giant, chop to the throat,
right?
Bigfoot, what I mean?
Yeah.
Power slam. Choke slam, those type of guys, and the Keith is too. It looks like independent wrestling to him, and he's not a fan of that style of wrestling. He wants him to kind of slow it down and be more of a monster heel type or whatever, instead of this big man that can do everything, but which is also dumb.
They broke the mold when they made Keith Lee. He is incredible, some of the things that he can do and his strength. But the bottom line, guys, is Vince McMahon don't like fat guys, and that's it. That's the bottom line. He likes a certain style, and I know there are going to be people listening.
And fat guys are important in this world, and I can speak for that. Fat guys are important.
Dude, just watch ever since his debut. Immediately, I felt like that they did not want him up there. I felt like that one of the agents had such high praise for him that Vince said, "All right, let's give him a shot." But we're going to change his ring music. So they changed his ring music, which is a big deal to a wrestling fan. If you have a theme song, imagine if they took the Breaking the Glass away from Stone Cold, or they took Cult of Personality away from CM Punk. Imagine him coming back without that theme song. It's very important. And so they changed his theme song. They put a shirt on him, which immediately everybody said, oh, gosh, they're trying to cover him up because he's fat. You know, they changed his ring gear multiple times. They've already changed his theme song again to include his name, Keith Lee, when all they had to do was use the music that got him over. Just all that different stuff. But then on the same side, it's Vince's company. There's only one guy that you've got to get over with. There's only one guy that really has to like you, and that's Vince McMahon. And Kevin Owens went through the same exact thing. So, and also the whole thing about going back to the Performance Center, that's what we do, guys. If the radio station said, hey, man, we need you guys to gel a little bit more, so we need you to be in the studio practicing, you guys would be in the studio practicing. You know what I mean? So that's with every it doesn't matter, you know, how big of a superstar you are. If you think that some of the main event guys aren't rehearsing their matches, they have a ring set up at the hotel during WrestleMania weekend, for crying out loud. So I think people are blowing it out of proportion just a little bit about getting these guys back at Performance Center. As you saw, he's still on Raw. It's just they're wanting these guys, and it's not just Keith Lee. They're wanting these guys to get a little bit of extra ring work in, and I can respect that. But then at the same time, they really have had him go like an uphill battle with everything from theme music to ring gear, and then now this rumor coming out about sending him back to the Performance Center. It's just been really tough for Keith, but he is still there. He's still making big money, and the people still love him, so he'll always have a spot.
But Vince makes the call to call these guys up, though, right? So why is he not even still in NXT?
Well,
like you knew what he was when you brought him up. So
right, if I'm an agent, and Vince doesn't probably watch every single second of the program. So if I'm a road agent or if I'm a coach down at NXT, like Shawn Michaels or Scotty 2 Hotty's there. Whoever, they say, hey, you've got to take a look at this guy. He's big. He's awesome. You know, he's not your typical big man, all the stuff that we just said. Then Vince eventually will say, all right, let's give him a shot. All right, let's take a look at him.
All right, let's throw him in the ring.
I don't like his
Okay.
body. Got to cover him up. He's fat, you know, or whatever.
He's
And
fat.
so-
Look at that guy. Oh, my Lord.
Look at
Put
him.
a shirt on him. Jeez.
Right.
Louise.
yeah, I'm surprised that
I think it's so frustrating because there's a quote from Brian Alvarez who I thought kind of nailed it. He said, "You know what AEW has proven over the last year? There are two options here: the greatest roster in history or competent storytelling. We have learned in the past year that competent storytelling is trumping the greatest roster of all time." And I think he's exactly right. They have unbelievable amounts of talent, depth of talent, huge talent, and they all get funneled through this Performance Center, and they all learn this very generic WWE style that is not at all, to me, particularly outstanding. Like as much as I love some of these guys, the work is very generic and blah when they get sort of squeezed through that WWE grinder. You see on AEW, I think, a much more diverse array of work, and it shows. And guys like Keith Lee that are not typical, they get pushed and they get squeezed, and they try to get to fit them into this little mold that they want them to be in. And it just makes everything generic. They're getting guys from all over the look at how many kids' sons like Fit Finlay. His kid is not in the WWE Performance Center. Steve Regal, his kid is not in the WWE Performance Center. Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's kid, not in the WWE Performance Center. These guys are I think they're aware that the work that's coming out of that is not the work that they want to see. And I don't know. To me, Dustin, that tells me that something they're spending an untold amount of money. I don't think it's doing them much good because I think it's creating a lot of generic stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you look over on AEW, you've got guys like Marco Stunt, Jungle Boy, Top Flight. I mean, these guys are small guys that would never, ever, myself, I'm 5'11", 200 pounds. Guys like me would never have an opportunity to go to WWE. You have to have something incredibly special. Now, fortunately, I was able to get there, maybe not in the way of like getting inside the ring. That was one of the things they told me, guys. They said, all right, look, we're interested in you. We want to sign you. The Divas love you. We feel like that we can make money with you. You have that look. But with your height, I think you'll have more longevity doing this instead of that. Not everybody's Rey Mysterio. Like my son, is easy to say, well, what about Rey Mysterio? Rey Mysterio is a different animal. He is not even one in a million. He is one of a kind. People can't even think about doing the things that Rey Mysterio can do in the ring. Greatest cruiserweight of all time. But other guys nowadays, they wouldn't get those opportunities. So kudos to AEW, because that Jungle Boy, keep an eye on him and remember this radio program right here. Jungle Boy one day will be a world champion. He will mature in his body. And that's kind of weird to say he will mature in his body, but look at the Usos and look at them 5 years ago. Yeah. Just the way that not only their body, their style, they all matured and bam, now they're main eventing pay-per-views, you know?
It's just, I don't know. It just makes more sense. It drives me insane. I hate the generic. It's turned me off of it completely. That's why I'm so much more interested in AEW, because it's just rekindled my interest in it. Everything's so generic. And I hate when they have guys that are good and they just sand down the edges. The edges are fun. The edges are different. The edges make guys unique, and they sand off those edges to make them look like everybody else. And they have the same stuff where they have these two guys matching up 15 times in a row, and they don't have any unique matchups. And I don't know. There's a lot of talent there, tons of talent, but man, a lot of it's being wasted right now.
And speaking of Jungle Boys, Dustin, are you prepared for WWE to repackage Keith Lee as Kamala 2, son of Kamala?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh. Crime Time 3.0.
If they did that, then they would really ground Keith Lee, you know. And you were right about one thing that's a typical big man. They don't want to really leave. It's like Big Show at one point could do a moonsault off the top rope. Yep. He did drop kicks off the top rope. I mean, he was a real good athlete.
Yeah.
But now it's, hey, you're too big for that. You don't have to do that. Do this. That's the way they teach you in developmental. That's the way they teach you.
It's annoying. I remember the Headhunters. Did you ever watch the Headhunters in Japan? The two gigantic, big, fat dudes. Big. I mean, and they were jumping off the top rope, dropping legs. I love these two. I love these dudes. Totally unique. Big, fat dudes. And just jumping off and super athletic for some reason. Really weird. It was great. I loved it. We need more stuff like that.
It's been going on forever, too, guys. If you remember, and this is really dates back to like Attitude Era, Rob Van Dam. If you watch him in ECW, the incredible things. Now, he was incredible in WWE, but sanding down those edges and taking away some of those spectacular things for safety and among other things, but really it's safety. But they really sanded down his edges. They chilled him out a little bit. So that's why you would see the same thing, the Rolling Thunder, you know, the certain kicks that he would do. And then a lot of that offense was taken away from him. So he had to kind of conform his unique style that nobody else could do. He had to kind of conform that into the WWE brand. And then that's what we got from Rob Van Dam for so long. So it still happens today.
Dustin Starr, well, we'll check you out Saturday at noon, and soon enough, hopefully FedEx Forum will be rocking again, and can't wait, my friend. Have a good one, buddy.
All right, man, you guys too, and I am so excited to be back at FedEx Forum. It was cool the other day at rehearsals, just seeing everybody and being able to not even give them a high five, but give them like a long-distance fist bump or something like that. That's right. I can't wait to see everybody out there.
Fantastic stuff.
Guys.
Thank you, Dustin. Dustin Starr joining us. When we come back, we'll talk about the comments from Mike Oresco, who I think I talked about yesterday, and he has amplified it. Great stuff from the commissioner of the AAC. We'll discuss when we return.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
No one does football like FanDuel Sportsbook. All season long, FanDuel is bringing exclusive offers for the best games on the weekly slate. This week, here's something you won't want to miss. New users can bet $5 to win $75 on Justin Herbert to throw one or more touchdowns against the Las Vegas Raiders tonight. You can bet $5 to win $75 plus $1,500 on Justin Herbert to throw one or more touchdowns. And with FanDuel Sportsbook, incredible odds promotions are just the beginning. They've got a simple app, live betting on every game, and exhilarating bet types such as same-game parlays, where you combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. And once you win on FanDuel Sportsbook, they get you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and use promo code CASH to make your first deposit to claim your exclusive odds boost. That's promo code CASH. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable. Expires 14 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
Corky's is the answer for your holiday feast. Turkey, hams, and all the fixins. Oh, by the way, try our new Southern Layer cakes. Order at Corky'sBBQ.com and save $5.
Rocking around, the Kia rides have a happy holiday. That's right, Mid-South. Gossett Kia on the Pike is rocking away at the Kia Holiday Sales Event. Command the season. And gift wrapping is available on your 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $3149 due at signing. So get them what they really want this season, a new ride from Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike. Or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME $299.10, MSRP $20,625. Sold M7755,682, MSRP $20,315, K5 MG 003,199, MSRP $25,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF $695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20. Dealer stock only.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Celebrate 20 seasons of Grizzlies basketball in Memphis with a 2021 Grizzlies ticket package. Packages start at just $9 per game. And for a limited time, fans who place a $100 deposit will receive a free 20th season shirt. Visit Grizzlies.com today.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
This is Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, this is Michael Jackson, Remember the Time. This is Prince
the theme
Purple
song.
Rain.
This is from Penny Hardaway, All the Smoke. That's
All the Smoke
music
remix.
that they played, if you remember. If you remember the All the Smoke remix.
Actually, it's not.
Project Pat. And it's the Job Disciple remix.
On the Job training going on.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
On the boards with Zach today. So on the Job. Oh, man.
You have to have the patience of Job sometimes.
Zach, who's also younger than DeAndre Williams. Doesn't matter.
That's true.
No, I'm not. I'm 2 years older than him.
Welcome back as we continue hour number 3, brought to you by friends at Acura of Memphis, online AcuraMemphis.com. TLX.com, and you can go over there and check it out. I wish you would. The 2021 TLX, the finest sedan in Acura history. You're going to absolutely love it. Check it out at Acura of Memphis. I mentioned Mike Aresco going off, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. He was on Feinbaum yesterday, and this is something we talked about on the show, and I went on my little rant yesterday about the stupidity, the absolute idiocy of the CFP committee, the idiocy of college football in general, dumbest sport in the world, run by people who are just actively against half the participants of the sport. They're actively working against them in order to accomplish their goal of kind of consolidating the power of the Power Five and the cartel of money and all of that. And Aresco said, I never thought I'd say it, but if this continues, bring back the BCS and the computers because it would be a fairer system than what I'm seeing now. This is the 7th year, and it does appear the deck is stacked against us and other group of 5 teams. They need to do some soul searching. They are undermining their credibility with rankings that defy logic and common sense and fairness. He said Cincinnati's only missed 2 games. They played 8, and Ohio State's played 5. Ohio State missed 3 of their 8, and it's been essentially a glorified exhibition season. They're not against strong competition, and they don't drop. I guess I could channel George Orwell in Animal Farm. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. You basically played actually less than half a season, and yet there's no penalty there. There's no scrutiny there. It's as though everything is fine. But with us, you miss a few weeks with COVID, and you start dropping. He said, how is Iowa State being ranked ahead of Cincinnati after beating Texas and West Virginia? He said Texas, which has a great brand and name, but if they weren't Texas, would they be in the top 25? They have 3 losses and almost had a 4th against Texas Tech, not except for an onside kick. That's considered a win that vaults a 2-loss team over an undefeated Cincinnati team, which by any measure is an elite team with NFL players all over the place. He said, why is Cincinnati doing this? So what's the eye test? The eye test has been used over and over by the committee, but they refuse to use it with Cincinnati. This is a really elite team. You've got some teams that have played Alabama and given up 50 points, given elite defense like Cincinnati a shot at them. See what they can do. I don't know what would happen. I love it. He's going full on just NWO. Let's just set this thing, burn this thing down. I love it. Aresco's saying basically we're done with you guys. He said if it continues to be the way it is, then you really don't have a path. It looked like at one point Cincinnati might have had a path. We're not satisfied anymore with just playing on New Year's Day when we have teams this good. Agreed. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Well, thank you, Mike Aresco. Good for you, Mike.
Mike Aresco, nobody feels sorry for your poverty-ass conference. I mean, I'm sorry. I get it, but nobody feels sorry for you. Do better. Do better, Mike.
What are you talking about? What do you mean do better?
You're either in the Power 5 or you're not, man. I mean, hey, take an intern job in the SEC if you want to be one of the big dogs. I get it, but I'm tired of crying for Cincinnati, man. Like I get it, but it ain't happening, Peter.
It would have been Memphis last year.
And we
you
played
crying for Memphis.
And we played Penn State and got smacked. So we showed that we belonged right where we were.
No, you had a coach leave. I don't know if you noticed that.
Several coaches.
That's half the staff was out. I don't know if you noticed that. I mean,
have you noticed every Thursday or rest of the day I just make this huge heel turn and I'm right back by Friday or Monday?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I like your heel turns when they make sense. This is like one of those heel turns that doesn't make any sense. This is just one of those ridiculous heel turns.
I think Cincinnati's
this doesn't make
good.
any sense.
I think Cincinnati's good, but if you put them in the playoffs, they play Alabama, they get destroyed. So what are we doing?
They would be in the playoff. That'd be the point.
Yeah, I get that.
The point is they'd be in the playoff. That's the point. The point is they have to get the opportunity to get destroyed. I mean, it's silly to even
they have the right.
talk about this.
They have the right to get destroyed.
That's. I mean, Alabama's destroyed everybody. They destroyed Notre Dame for years. They destroyed. Oklahoma. You watch them. All these primetime programs. They got destroyed in the playoff. Cincinnati would do the exact same thing. That's fine. They still deserve that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about the idea and the point that he's making.
They shouldn't be ninth. They shouldn't be ranked ninth.
The lack of logic. Well, they shouldn't be. Iowa State shouldn't be ahead of them. Florida certainly shouldn't be ahead of them. It's idiotic. Georgia shouldn't be ahead of them. I mean, there's 3 2-loss teams that are ahead of them for no good reason. That's the point, is that if you're going to do this, try to have some kind of just a tiny little morsel of logic. It doesn't have to be perfect. In its very essence, college football is a stupid sport run by stupid people. So I don't expect a great deal of logic or thought or anything like that. I'm not saying it's got to be perfect, but this, even by the dumb logic that we've seen over the years in college football, this defies any normal explanation. I mean, this is you can't possibly look at it. You can't look at Iowa State being ranked so much ahead of Louisiana when Louisiana beat them head up by 17 points at Iowa State. Like, you can't have a team that's 13 spots ahead of that team. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you talking about?
So what do you suggest he does?
There's nothing that he can do. Unfortunately.
Wasn't it some big ball that he dropped a few years ago? Like something like Mike Aresco, like really, as far as the AAC is concerned, what was it, man? First of all, I don't feel sorry for you because you still name your trash conference in Metro. Like, I don't feel sorry for you, man. Name it the Metro, and I'd fight right here beside you, Mike Aresco.
Okay. Well, we'll call it the Metro if you want.
I'm not.
And then fight
it's called the AAC, which is the most generic sounding fake ACC conference I've ever heard in my life, man. The American. Call it the freaking Metro, and I'll stand in the trenches with you, Mike Aresco, and fight this fight with you. But you went on your own and made this bootleg sounding conference. I'm not defending you, Mike Aresco.
It's stupid. This whole situation is stupid.
It's stupid. I admit, man. I'm
it's
absolutely
idiotic. I don't care what the conference is called. It's just this.
No, but seriously,
logic.
didn't he drop the ball on something? Didn't something happen where he did something like really dumb a few years ago?
I mean, you could argue. Are you talking about the TV deal? They signed a TV
something,
deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a long. You have to come with more than that. I'm not gonna. I can't help you with that. I don't know. There's a lot of. He's done a lot of things in between now and then. So I don't know. Some of them have been good. Some of them have not been good. Point being, I'll continue to beat this drum. The fact that the sport actively excludes half of its competitors officially before you even start is so stupid. That it defies any discussion. There's no reason for a lot of these teams to even suit up because they have absolutely no chance of winning. They have no chance of doing anything. There's no point. What would be the point? I mean, the NBA doesn't say, well, the champion this year is coming from the Western Conference. So Eastern Conference, y'all can play, and you could have a champion, but it doesn't matter.
Might as well do that.
Yeah, but they're not. But the point is that they actually have a competition, and then they'll find out. And I agree, the champion will come from the West, but they're going to have to actually perform that way.
Right.
Same thing with. I agree. Alabama would probably kill Cincinnati. I'd still like to see it. The Cincinnati deserves the opportunity
to
get killed,
I guess.
just like everybody in the the NCAA in the men's basketball tournament. Like, yeah, you're probably going to see Baylor would destroy. Sam Houston State or whatever. But, like, they still play. Give them a chance to play. Baylor would probably destroy Prairie View. But maybe one day they wouldn't. You never know. Give them a chance. Let's see what happens. And the fact that they're continually being denied that chance and denied that chance in such an implausible fashion, that's the other thing. There's not even, like, a shred of logic to this. You have Ohio State, who can barely put a season together, has not played anybody of note, and only because they are Ohio State, and we just make the assumption that they're very good. Well, yeah, they are very good, but you can't just make that assumption. If you're going to do that, you might as well set the playoff before the season even starts, and not even worry about actually playing the games. If you think that, Alabama and Clemson, they're going to be there, well, they still got to win some games and do some stuff. Like, at some point when you miss half your season, that should come into play. That should matter. And if it doesn't, then why are you playing any of the games? If you can miss half of them and it's really irrelevant, that's idiotic. So no, I'm with Mike Aresco here. The only thing that he can do at this point is just to continue to be as outspoken as possible and hope that some of this legislation that may or may not pass could get some money diverted into his conference. But I'm here for him just saying, forget everybody, quit trying to suck up, quit trying to do P6, quit trying to do all that stuff. Just be honest with people. Say this whole thing stuck. This whole thing sucks. It's rigged. It's a corrupt system, and just keep piping it. I'm with him. So thank you for that. Keep saying it. because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's a real jacked up system, man. We know that. Man.
Yeah. And then we kind of knew coming into this, this season for me, when looking at the playoff situation, because you're going to have a lot of teams that was going to jump into the season late, you might as well look at
this is what we knew
just
was going to happen, Peter.
I mean, it's like you're basically just scrapping away like all the wins, and you're just looking at like who are the best teams. Now, like key matchups like Bama versus Georgia or whatever matchup, or like BYU and Coastal Carolina, that has some weight to it because they're two really good teams in the group of 5. But for the most part, like Ohio State only playing like you said 5-6 games after they haven't played in like 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, in comparison to Cincinnati, who missed just 1 week. Which is the title game, I believe, I guess, and they're sitting outside almost outside the top 10. It's like it doesn't make any sense, especially with teams with 2 losses already in the season, in a shortened season. So I like the eye test should have been like, okay, like, yeah, we like in normal situations like Florida, Iowa State, Georgia, those teams aren't supposed to be up here. But because the season has pretty much been cut short because of COVID and everything that's happened, like we need to look at some other teams like that we don't normally think about going into selecting the teams for this playoff, just to give them a chance because they took advantage of the time that they had and they didn't have any flare-ups. Or as many flare-ups as other teams.
Right. And the thing is, like, piggybacking off of what Zach said, like, it seems like the teams that are non-Power 5, they went through all these steps. They're going through the same process of, taking COVID tests all the time, quarantine, all these type of things. They could have just hey, we're done. We're not going to play football.
Right.
But they did these things to try to help out as a whole for the betterment of the body of all these college football teams. Just to still get the same crap where, okay, well, thanks for participating. Thanks for doing what you did so that we can do what we did, but you're still not invited to the big dance. Like we've been saying, all jokes aside, we've been saying this would have been a perfect year to have a very expanded tournament in football instead of playing all these crap games every Saturday. So I get what you're saying to that point, Peter.
And this is not to say that their seasons, the group of 5 team seasons are it's in vain.
They're clearly the only ones that matter though.
Right.
The rest of these teams just played a bunch. Literally, this is the worst season to be playing meaningless exhibition games.
Risking their lives,
literally,
for
careers.
For
you got guys in these smaller
nothing.
schools. You got guys in Memphis who aren't part of the Power 5 who will be NFL players, and not just Memphis, Cincinnati, across the country. Guys who didn't go to Power 5 schools that are NFL caliber guys who went out and played this year, and it's and it's for nothing. So.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. When we return, we'll get some thoughts about tonight's third game of the Grizzlies preseason.
Let's get it.
When we come back. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
Hey everybody, down to the last few days of the year, and everyone at All-Star Chevrolet asked me to thank all of you for sticking with them through all the challenges this year. Now, if you want an unreal deal on a new Chevy, Olive Branch is where you want to be. All-Star Chevrolet has year-end markdowns on everything. New Silverados, Traverse, Equinox, Suburban, Tahoes, Camaros, even Impalas. They have the new 2020 and 2021 Silverados and Traverse with plenty of cash back. I just drove the new Camaro. Yeah, they let even me test drive that. And my favorite Impala. I love them. I love them all, and you will too. Go make them an offer on any Chevy car, SUV, or truck you want. They'll take it. All posted at their website at allstarautogroup.com. They have the best certified pre-owned Chevy selection anywhere, barely driven and fully warranted. And everyone at All-Star Chevrolet has one job, just one job, to make sure you have fun, get the best deal, and in record time. Remember, it's not Mount Moriah or South Haven, not the Pike or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to Kraft Goodman Road and Olive Branch for the end of the year deal you will never forget. Or go to allstarautogroup.com. And Happy New Year from our friends at All-Star Chevrolet.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One with a Thursday night football preview sponsored by Prilosec. Treat your frequent heartburn with Prilosec OTC. Coming up, AFC West action as rookie quarterback Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers travel to Las Vegas to face veteran Derek Carr and the Raiders. Chargers are coming off a down-to-the-wire win over the Falcons. Herbert says this year's close games, wins, and losses have been valuable.
Experience is the best teacher, and being out there and learning and going through it, and as hard as it may be, you get better from it, and you say, oh, well, I can't throw the ball over the middle, and when we watch the film, we'll see that, and I can't make those mistakes.
The Raiders dropped to 7-6 last week with a loss to the Colts. Ryan Rackey and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner will call the action from Las Vegas on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
Hey, frequent heartburn may keep you from running your A game, but it doesn't have to anymore. Join the Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge. Just go to prilosecotc.com. You'll get $3 off to get you started, plus 14 days of tips, tricks, and reminders. Just 2 weeks, zero heartburn. Go to prilosecotc.com and sign up today. Zero heartburn is possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Taking on that next oil change yourself is a great idea. We can help you get started. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $31.99. You can even get it all fast your way with our next day delivery or free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Taking on that next oil change yourself is a great idea. We can help you get started. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $31.99. You can even get it all fast your way with our next day delivery or free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
You don't think about a lawyer until something goes wrong. When that happens, let attorney Stephen Leffler fight for you and your family. You don't leave the house in the morning expecting an accident, but it happens every day. A car wreck, you slip and fall, or you get accused of a crime and find yourself fighting for your reputation. Stephen Leffler has been fighting for you for over 35 years. Don't do it alone. Let Stephen Leffler fight your battles for you. Call Stephen Leffler, 901-527-8830, or go to LefflerLaw.com. Here to fight for you and your loved ones.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
This is Terry Lawler's Channel 5 intro music. The Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert remix.
That's right, Jerry the King Lawler, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Zach just, getting it on the job training, learning wrestling things on the fly.
On the Job training. Fantastic.
I blame myself a little bit. I know, bro, I can't, bro. Yeah. I gave Zach a hard time. I underestimated my time when I left the house this morning and made a stop. So I called Zach at like 6:45. I was like, Zach, I'm running late. Can you log me in? Can you have me ready? So I just got to literally just come in and sit down and hop on the mic. He's like, yeah, I got you. So
there you go.
Props to Zach. I'm normally here early enough so we can kind of run through. Because I know Zach kind of needs some help in the wrestling stuff, and the stuff that's his thing. I stay out of it. But if he needs some help, but I wasn't available today, so. I apologize for that from my part. And Zach being discombobulated on the.
It's not. It's.
Look, wrestling is not my cup.
Exactly, we know that.
It's not. But I'm trying. Like that. Like there is an effort today. There was an effort that was made today.
But what was the theme today? You normally have like.
So it was WCW. I was going
WCW.
Yeah.
WCW.
So few of us were really WCW. Yeah. Anyway, it's fine. No worries. All right. So tonight, of course, the Grizzlies and the Hawks. I did want to mention too. Shout out to James Harden. Great stuff yesterday in his first media session back with the Rockets. Asked by Tim McMahon, said, "What were you doing in Las Vegas and Atlanta during training camp?" He said, "I was training for what? The start of the NBA season. Why in Atlanta and Vegas instead of Houston? My personal trainers." So excellent personal training was being done by James Harden. He looked like he was in great shape too. He looked like he'd been hitting the personal training gym.
Yeah, looked like he had some of those same bubble personal trainers. The guys were trying to get flown into the bubble as well.
I've had a similar personal trainer for that.
What? No comment.
Very similar. Now listen, tonight Grizzlies and Hawks. I hope we see some of the injured players.
Yep.
Maybe slide into action. I don't know that there's much more. I mean, I guess you just continue to kind of do your thing, but I don't know what more John Moran has to prove.
I want to see Desmond Bain starting as shooting guard tonight, man. Come on, man. Come on, coach. Come on, Tyler. Come on, Tyler Jenkins. We came to see Bain, man.
Double DB. DB and DB.
DB. The other DB.
DB.
Oh, man. There goes
Bain. There goes Desmond. Desmond Bain.
Mr. Wayne, are you ready?
Are you ready? You were born. You were born in. I can't even get it out. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson's going to have some fun with that dude, man.
He was born in the darkness. Now he's in the light.
He was molded by it.
Dilly Dilly and Tilly Tilly.
I saw Sean McDermott and Dave and Buster's.
Sean McDermott telling me how to drive my go-kart at golf and games.
Telling me number
but
one.
There's no fun in games. It's all business.
It's all when it comes down to Desmond Bain. Rule number one, have fun. Rule number two, be safe. Yeah, man.
Oh man, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. It's gonna happen.
Dilly Tilly. Oh man.
Everybody, stay warm. Have a good one. Midday's coming up next. We'll talk to you in the morning.